Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Delete Laws. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Do me a favor, everybody. If you would please hit the like button. If you would please just take a second, hit the like button. It's the thumbs up thing down there at the bottom. You see it? It looks like a thumbs up. Can you hear me okay? Give me a 5x5 if you can hear me all right. You probably won't be getting notifications from YouTube. YouTube literally has a filter on my account that stops me from growing videos after 10,000 views. Someday, YouTube, there's going to be a day when I get you in court and I get discovery. It's going to happen. Anyway, if you would please hit the like button. Did everybody hit the like button? And then put in the comment section, if you would, pretty please, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. So this auditor is named J.THR333. And this is his first audit. This gentleman right here, this is his first audit. So I've liked his video and I'll drop a comment down here. I'm going to cover your video today and answer the legal questions you had. Oh, snap. Thank you, bro. I'm sure you will let me know how I did. Hopefully I didn't do too bad. I know I should have been saying invoke the fifth. Very good. Very good. Right on. Email me and I'll send you the StreamYard link to join the convo. Okay. Oh, let me just tell them we are live now. There you go. So this is his very first audit. And typically I wouldn't listen to someone talk their way into the audit, but I want you guys to hear what this guy says. I want you to listen. He kind of talks for a little too long, to be honest, but don't we all? Don't we all?
Yo. What's good, man? This is your boy J3 back with another video. Not just another.
Do me a favor, put in the comment section, this is your boy J3. This is your boy J3. This is your boy J3. There it is. Put that in the comment section for J3. Maybe he'll come join the live stream.
Video. I want to label this my first video because this is the first time I'm not being pulled over, but you see the police, right? So you know it's police related.
So this is the first time he's going to actually inject himself and save somebody. He saves a man. I don't know if he'd been watching the videos or if he must have learned from Delete Laws. He must have learned right here that you can revoke consent. Watch what he does.
I actually pulled up on the police. I did it. I finally did it. I've been saying I'm going to record the police. I just want to make sure they're doing a good job, right?
Cracked your cherry, rookie. Good job, buddy. Proud of you. Everybody in here can learn something from this man, J3. He cracked his cherry. He popped his cherry. He went out there and walked up on cops filming and then interjected himself.
And police should not have a problem with me doing that, right? If they're doing good work, it should be no problems. I'm actually highlighting the great job that they're doing. So I pulled up at the gas station. I see my
J3. Did you just say some bullshit right here, bro? Listen to what he says here.
Doing good work, it should be no problems.
If they're doing good work, it should be no problems.
I'm actually highlighting the great job that they're doing. So I pulled up at the gas station. I seen my man pulled over. I seen this lady cop going all through his car. I said, yo, what's going on? What's going on? This stop takes place in Brentwood, Tennessee. Brentwood, fun fact about Brentwood, population of about 49,000. Black population is about 3%. This man just moved here. He's relatively new to the area. He is on probation, parole. And I had to do some research when I left this stop, right? because
Well, you won't have to do any more research because I've already watched your video, J3. I already know the answers to your questions.
and you'll see in the video, but there is a such thing I had no clue about. There's a such thing as your Fourth Amendment waiver. That a lot of people in his situation, like a lot of gentlemen in his situation with being on probation and parole, they give up their Fourth Amendment right, which sounds crazy to me. But if they're granting you freedom, or shorten your sentence, I guess it makes sense, right? I would.
No, it doesn't make sense, brother. It doesn't make sense for our rights to be infringed upon in any way, shape, or form. It makes absolutely no sense at all.
I would rather have my freedom. I'd rather have limited freedom outside, right, than no freedoms inside, right? I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what what takes place. But we're just gonna go ahead and hop into the video. What I need y'all to do for me is like the video. This is my first one. Let me know what I could do to make the video better.
Just keep doing what you're doing, brother. Go out there and film cops. A lot of people ask me what to do to be an auditor. Just go out there and start filming cops. That's all people care about. They want to see that you're filming cops. That's it. Just film cops. That's all you got to do. Film them in their job, in their official capacity. Film the cops. You're doing a great job, brother. I've covered a couple of your videos now, and you only have 1,000 subscribers. Man, make sure you guys get over here and subscribe to this man. He's only got 1.64 thousand subscribers, and he's out there doing it.
If I should put more pressure on the cops.
Absolutely. You're doing a great job. You just being there causes a Hawthorne effect that puts pressure on the cop. His behavior changes the moment he sees you standing there filming.
Throw jokes at him. What should I do, man? Because I will
Save the jokes, dude. They're not your friends. You joke with your friends.
be doing this a lot more.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Just to, for checks and balances, man, basically.
No, I mean, I appreciate you saying the politically correct thing, but the reason why we're doing it is because cops are arresting people, assaulting people, murdering and killing and wrongfully persecuting and prosecuting people every single day in this country, and First Amendment auditors are heroes.
But let's go ahead and get into the video. Y'all take care, stay blessed. Make sure you hit that like button, thumbs it up for me.
I'm going to send 100 subscribers over to you, brother.
Y'all take care, stay blessed. Peace. I'm out of here.
Now, check it out. There is no rule of where you can stand. You have to stand a sensible distance away, but there's still no rule. You could walk right up to those cop cars. Now, the Kevin or Karen judge is going to hold against you, but you can get 10, 15 feet away from these cars, 8 feet, 7 feet. You can get within, 2 arms distances.
What they said before? What they said before? Your tent?
So they stopped him in the middle of the night because his windows were tinted. This whole tint law is bullshit. The tint law in every single state has got to be wiped away.
Why they search your car? Tell them I don't want you to search it. I don't give you consent, bro. Say no, sir. Hell no. Leave me alone.
You can just hang out right there. Though.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, bro, just tell them, and they'll stop. But it don't matter.
He said, "Ain't nothing in my car." Well, you know what? We got that pig named Zach Wester. There was nothing in the cars that he searched. Zach Wester, there were no chemicals in the cars that Zach Wester searched all by himself with nobody there to supervise him. There was nobody in the car. There was no chemicals in the car before Zach Wester searched their car. And now this gentleman is allowing jackboot thug pigs to search his car, not knowing if they have a personal agenda, that they're trying to get more arrests, that they're trying to be the leaderboard for chemical arrests, that they're trying to get the most DUI arrests in a weekend. He has no idea what the cop's motivation is. The cop is incentivized by impounding your car, arresting you, taking you to the jail, and stealing your money. That's how the cop is incentivized. So if you allow a cop to search your car, how do you know that incentivization doesn't enter into his mind that he should drop some chemicals in your car and charge you with a felony? You don't know that.
Just leave me alone.
You can just hang out right there. Though.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, bro, just tell them and they'll stop. But it don't.
Ain't nothing in my car, bro, is what he said. JBTP, put it in the comment section. JBTP, a jackboot thug pig will plant chemicals in your vehicle.
Matter. Just tell them. Say, hey, I don't want y'all to record. I'm good.
Can I leave to go home from work?
He said, can I leave to go home? Can I leave to go home? That is not what is written in your trifold. Listen to what he says again.
I'm good.
Can I leave to go home?
He tells him, tell him I don't want to search your car anymore. And instead of saying the exact words, the cop then says, can I leave? The victim of the police then says, can I leave to go home?
From work? Can I do this? Yeah, go.
Say, am I detained?
No, that's not what you say. You say, that is not what you say at all whatsoever. You followed the step-by-step. It's number 10 on your trifold, the 2018 case of United States versus Williams. While filming, if you know the cop is going to search your car, you initially give consent. You can revoke that consent moments later. However, you must be unequivocal, clearly stating, I gave consent and now I revoke consent. Stop searching my car. By law, if you give consent, you can revoke it. It's in your trifold. This gentleman, when he was told what to say, then said, can I go home? And he was not filming the cops who were searching his car. The guy who got pulled over did everything wrong, and the auditor saved his life.
I know, but what? Ask him what for. So I haven't came any closer. Just say I don't give you consent to search my car.
That's it. That's it. Home run. Everybody give this auditor a round of applause right now. Everybody, where you're sitting, golf clap. That's exactly what you say. That is exactly what you do. Listen to what the auditor said.
Just say I don't give you consent to search my car, and they have to stop.
That's
legally.
it. That's
Tell
it.
them. I haven't came any closer. Just say I don't give you consent to search my car, and they have to stop.
There
legally.
it is.
Tell them.
That's how you do it. Just like that. You can give consent.
Hey, bro, and they have to stop legally.
And for some reason, this guy just is not getting what he puts down. He's telling him the exact words to say. I don't give you consent to search my car. That's it. That's all that's required. He's telling him the words to say out loud, and he's not saying them.
I haven't came any closer. Just say I don't give you consent to search my car, and they have to stop legally. Tell them.
Okay, that's it. Say those exact words. Does he? No.
So with the blue lights, you're
Hey, bro, just tell him what I said. Say I don't give you consent. No, hey, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. I don't give you consent. Boom. There you go.
Hey, there's her Freudian slip. The cop says, if you want us to stop searching, that's fine.
Consent. Boom.
If you want us to stop, that's fine. Auditor says, boom. Now watch the woman.
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, you're messing us up trying to arrest somebody here. What's the cop's goal? Put it in the comment section real quick for me. What's the cop's goal? The cop's goal is to arrest you, impound your car, and steal your money as he kidnaps you and drags you off to the dungeon. The first thing you should do is invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Don't ask me where I'm coming from. No searches or seizures. Everything I need to provide by law is in the slip below. Then, if the cop says, I want to search your car, and you give consent because you're being crafty, then as soon as they put their little pig paws inside of your vehicle, you immediately say, I revoke consent. And you say it out loud. You say it emphatically. I revoke consent. You just got to stop searching my car, and you put the camera in their face. And if you're not on parole or probation, they have to stop searching your car. It is the law. It's initially brought up in SCOTUS in the 1991 case of Florida versus Gemino. And then the Third Circuit in 2018 in United States versus Williams actually lays out the verbiage that you only need to say, I revoke consent, stop searching my car. It's in your trifold. Why don't you have a trifold on your visor right this second?
Name and badge number? I don't give you consent. Boom. There you go. Yes, ma'am. Name and badge number?
She's annoyed that she had to stop searching. Little pigtail wants so much power. Look at that 110-pound girl. A 110-pound woman can be my boss in a lot of scenarios. She can't be my boss when she tells me what to do, and it's a physical confrontation. It's ridiculous.
Bro, they not your friends, bro. They not looking out for you. Trust me.
Yes, this guy. Make sure you get over to this guy's channel right here, J333. I'm going to put the link down. He says exactly, these guys are not your friends. Get over there and fill up this guy's comment section with likes and drop him 100 comments. He's saying exactly the truth. These guys are not your friends. They're not looking out for you.
Bro, they not your friends, bro. They not looking out for you. Trust me.
You need to stop talking.
I can talk if I want. I can talk if I want. No, I'm not. I was talking to my man right here.
Yes.
That's what. It just ended. It was a tick. Say, write me a ticket. I don't give you consent.
There it is right there. So then the cop said, you can't interrupt me. Again, as soon as the cop says you can't interrupt me, open up your trifold to number 8. Houston versus Hill, expressive disorder is inevitable in a society that's dedicated to individual freedom and must be protected if that freedom can survive. Mr. Hill interrupted police, and I can interrupt you as well. It's right there in your trifold. So everything this cop has done and said so far, the counter for it is in the trifold. The exact counter for every single step that these jackboot thug pigs have tried to limit this man. They've tried to limit him. Here's the link to his channel. I put it in the comment section. Get over there and give this man some credit. He tells them every single thing they say, it's in the trifold.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said when you first came over here, right?
Yes, sir.
You're good to record. You're good to do your thing, okay, right?
Like I said when you first came over here, right? And look at him walk over. What's the most prominent thing? The torture cuffs right up front. They used to be in the back. Why are they in the front now? To scare you, to intimidate you, so they can grab them quicker. It used to be in the 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s, you very rarely were put in torture cuffs. Now it's policy that upon interaction, you go in torture cuffs.
Like I said when you first came over here, right?
Like I said when you first came over here, right? So at this point right here, the moment that jackboot thug pig walks up to you and starts talking, you say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You stick it right in his face. Right behind the stick in his face is the camera. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You jackboot thug pig. JBTP. Put it in the comment section. Jackboot thug pig. He goes strutting over there to try to limit this man's First Amendment right.
Yes, sir.
You're good to record. You're good to do your thing, okay, right? Well, I'll explain everything to you since we kind of came up a little later, okay?
Yes,
I
sir.
don't need my rights to be explained to me, pig. At that point right there, this is a consensual conversation. And so I would then talk over him. I don't need to be explained my rights. Well, no, I don't want to listen. I'm going to interrupt you, just like the 1987 case of Houston versus Hill. I'm going to interrupt you. I don't want to hear your cop-splaining. I don't need you to explain my First Amendment right to be pressed. I don't need you to explain my First Amendment right to speech. I don't need the explanation. So I would interrupt that jackboot thug pig and talk over him.
Sir,
So we stopped him for the window tint on his vehicle, okay?
hey,
I don't care, pig. Step away from me. You're harassing me. I'm doing my job as a member of the press. I don't want to hear your cop-splaining.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
I'm just
Right. Be a little meaner, though. He's not your friend. This is a consensual conversation. You're not being detained. Take his ass to the cleaners.
let him know that he can assert his right to not have a shit right
I got
there.
you. And here's the thing, right?
No, here's the deal. No, this is not the deal. You're going to cop-splain. Don't let him even talk.
You pull somebody out of a vehicle and we ask them about some of their history.
Mhm.
They tell us about their history. We say, hey, is it cool if we look inside of your car because of some of your history?
Right. Is it cool if we look inside of your car because of some of your history so that we could possibly find something to arrest you with? That's what he just said. That's what he just said. When you get pulled over, you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Are you on probation? Are you on parole? I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I don't lose my rights. Now, you do lose your Fourth Amendment right to search when you're on probation or parole. That's why I'm covering this video.
Excuse this Uber notification going off. I was in the middle of giving out some rides, and the rides didn't stop coming in just because I hit the record button.
So this man, let me tell you what he did. He stopped to go and film cops while he had Uber rides coming into his phone.
Here's the thing. And like you said, right?
Here's the thing.
Second, he said to her who was searching the vehicle, hey, I want to stop the search. We asked him, you want to stop the search? Okay,
Oh.
That's fine. Because he gave consent to search the car, okay?
I know.
And so here's what I'm saying. You're good to record and everything, but you yelling at him or you yelling at us or anything like that, okay? Here's what that creates, okay? That does create an interference, not by you walking over and getting all in our business,
Yeah.
but you're extending the stop. You're extending all of that by talking to him and not letting him talk to us.
Well,
Don't warn anybody that we're trying to arrest them. Don't let anybody know their rights. Don't let anybody know that they can revoke consent. Don't do that. Don't help anybody. And you're stopping us from fooling someone into legally searching them because they gave consent, even though they don't have to give consent to search. You're telling them about their rights, and that's messing us up. We wanted to arrest that man, impound his car, and steal his money. And now you've stopped us from doing that. And that's why they're upset right now.
Right.
I think technically y'all would be extending it by going through the stuff, like going through all of his vehicle, just because he didn't know that he could say, I don't want you to do that. Especially a lot of black men. Whenever I see black men pulled over, I'm making my duty to stop whatever I'm doing. I got shit to do.
God bless you, my brother. Did you hear that? He makes it his duty that when he sees a black man pulled over, well, then fine, make it your race. Make it white, make it Asian, make it brown. But make it a race if you have to. Whatever it takes for you to pull over and pull your camera out and show that cop that he's being filmed, whatever it takes to motivate you. But start filming cops. Start pulling your camera out and start filming cops. It doesn't matter. Like he says, he makes it a point for black men. Okay, good. Am I a little bit more inclined to pull over when I see a large black guy pulled over by pigs? I probably am, because I know that they're more likely to kill those black guys because of the statistics. But that doesn't change. I have OCD. When I see pigs got someone pulled over, I gotta pull over. I gotta pull over and I gotta film them.
But because a lot of people don't know, right?
Right.
So we need to get the word out. that you don't have to be afraid of police. If y'all doing good work, y'all shouldn't have nothing to be afraid of. You should like me highlighting that. Y'all doing good work, y'all shouldn't have nothing to be afraid of. You should like me highlighting.
Then we don't have anything to be afraid of. The reason why there is such a revolt against police and the reason why good men and women will no longer sign up to be pigs, you have to be a lower intelligence and have no skills to sign up to be a pig. The reason is because he says we're not doing anything wrong. The policies, procedures, and protocols that you've signed up to do, you jackboot thug pig, are barbaric, inhumane, and brutal. And they must be changed. It doesn't matter if you fire every one of these pigs and bring in new pigs. With these policies, procedures, and protocols, it will just remain being a jackboot thug pig organization. If you have to lay down and people have to jump on top of you, if the rule is turn over and lay on your belly and you have to expose the back of your neck to predators, that won't ever work. It'll always fights and consternation and physical interaction. People don't want to roll over and give people who are predators the back of their neck. It's human instinct. Lay on your belly and straighten your arms out so that there's nothing to stop my face from being bashed into the ground. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And that's what these cops expect us to do.
Right? You know what I mean?
We don't have anything to be afraid of. Just like I
Oh, no, you do. The people are coming and we're going to change your policies, procedures, and protocols.
said, like I was telling you, like I'm talking to you, he gave us consent to search the vehicle because he was on probation and he didn't let us know that he was on probation. Okay. With that being said, he had a knife on him, so we pulled him out of the car to get the knife off.
Why? Why do you have to pull him out of the car to get the knife off him? If you just let him go, there's nobody to use the knife on. You're the only people there. Why do you have to pull him out of the car to get the knife off of him? For what reason? He wasn't attacking anybody. Nobody called attacking. You pulled tinted windows. Why can't he have a knife on him for self-protection?
On probation, okay? With that being said, he had a knife on him to the car to get the knife off. Asked him about his probation and said, hey, since you're on probation, can we search your vehicle? He said, sure.
Are knives illegal?
No, they're not illegal at all. But when we pull somebody out of a car and they got a weapon on them, what do we want to do for our safety and for their safety, right?
No, for their safety, for your safety. Has nothing to do with their safety. So let me explain something to you that you have to understand, and for the auditor as well. He's going to ask the question in a minute. If you're on probation, if you are on probation from jail or prison or parole, then you often stipulate to surrendering your Fourth Amendment right. It's in the fine print when you sign your probation paperwork. The same thing goes if you're out of jail on bond. You may have signed away or stipulated away that the cops can search you upon any interaction with you. When you're on probation, it's almost 100% that that's the case. So if you are on probation or parole and the cops pull you over, you still invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You don't answer any questions. If they pull up that you're on probation or parole, you repeat, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. If they ask to search your car, you can give consent and revoke consent. If you can give consent, you can revoke consent. Everything has got to be on camera. If everything's not on camera, it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And everything has got to be on camera or you're going to get railroaded.
Separate the weapon from him, right?
I get that.
So we're not holding on to the knife. Knife's in his car.
No. So here's the other thing for the young auditor right here.
And for their safety, right? We want to separate the weapon from him, right?
I get that.
No, you don't get that. You don't get that. So for the young auditor who I'm loving his channel, listen, brother, the cops will give you a series of questions that make a lot of sense. We want to protect kids, right? Yes. You don't want dogs to get hit by cars, do you? No, of course not. So then we have to take his weapon from us for our safety, right? Sure. No. They give you the da-da, boom, something that doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make sense why they had this guy's knife off of him, why they had to pull him out of the car at all whatsoever, why they had to pull him over for his windows being tinted. None of this was justifiable. The window tinting scam is from the 1971 case of versus New Hampshire. And after that warrant didn't suffice, and they later got Coolidge anyway because he was a murderer, in 1979, you had the FBI's plain view doctrine that was established. And with the plain view doctrine after 1979 came all the window tinting laws. Because if it's in plain view, then they can charge you with it. In the 1971 case of Coolidge versus New Hampshire, remember what the Fourth Amendment says before it was violated in 1968? Terry versus Ohio, no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and specifically saying the person or places to be searched or seized. Now, in the Coolidge case in 1971, they got a warrant for his apartment. They got a warrant, but they didn't get a warrant for the gun. And when they went into Coolidge's apartment, the gun was sitting there. The gun he had used to kill the gas station attendant was sitting right there open. But the warrant, remember the Fourth Amendment requirement, and specifically stating the person and things to be searched or seized. That's what the Fourth Amendment says. Now, all through the late 60s and early 70s, the Supreme Court wiped away the Fourth Amendment in entirety. In entirety, the Fourth Amendment's gone. So that happens in 71. So the Supreme Court then adjusts through Supreme Court cases, and then they come out in the 1979 with the plain view doctrine, which says that if they get a warrant for your house and they find some contraband or a weapon in plain view, they didn't get a warrant for that, specifically saying the person or places or things to be seized, Fourth Amendment. Now, with the 1979 plain view doctrine, sounds really fancy. Now, if they just see something, then they can criminalize you for it. So that's how we get the window tinting laws in the United States of America. That's how it happens.
We're not holding on to the knife. Knife's in his car. It's hanging out in his car. We just don't want it sitting up with him while she's searching his car after he gave her consent to search his car.
Yes, sir. I get you.
No, don't agree, Mr. Auditor Man, J3. Don't agree. He's trying to give you a bunch of things that you can agree with. So it makes perfect sense, the tyrannical jackboot thug pig shit they do to us. But listen to what he says more carefully, that what you agree to.
Right? We want to separate the weapon from it.
We want to separate. Why? You have a weapon on you. I want to separate your weapon from you.
Right?
I get that.
So we're not holding on to the knife.
Then give it back to him. You took away his weapon.
Knife's in his car. It's hanging out in his car. We just don't want it sitting up with him while she's searching.
You don't want it sitting up with him.
Searching his car after he gave her consent to search his car.
While she's searching his car, because he's a homicidal killer. He's a total maniac. The guy you pulled over is Ted Bundy reincarnated. He kills people right in front of cops who have guns with a knife when they have guns. He's trying to get you to agree to something that doesn't make any sense at all.
Sir, I get you. What's your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Cho. My badge number is 1682.
Boom.
It's nice to meet you, man.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy, all right?
Hey, yes, sir. You too. Hey, bro, stay blessed. Stand on your rights, bro. You can say you don't want stuff to happen. They use intimidation. They try to get you. And they may not be bad people.
No. They joined an evil thing. That what they're doing right now is evil. They're trying to find a reason to arrest this man. They're evil. They are demons. They are evil. What happens to you when you get arrested? You get kidnapped. You get put in torture cuffs. They immediately take away your communication devices so you can't tell anybody that you've been drug off to a dungeon. They impound your car. They give you a bunch of charges that you have to defend yourself in court against. They charge a bounty for you to get your body out of the dungeon. They charge a bounty for your car. These people are not good people just doing their job. These people are demons. They're the evil. These people are evil. They're not good people at all.
Cops personally, but it's just what their company does, bro. They use intimidation. They try to get you. And they may not be bad people, these cops personally, but it's just what their company does, bro.
No. So let me just interject here. Okay. So do you see the woman bent over in the car? Do you see her right there? Do you see her looking around in the car? Okay. She's trying to find an excuse or reason or some sort of chemical or anything at all whatsoever that she can turn around and arrest the man. That's what she's doing in the back of the car right there. You see her right there? You see her you see her right here in the back of the car, searching that car right there? She's trying to find a reason to arrest that man. Let's say, for example, that she did find some chemicals in the back of his car. Let's say she found an entire Soho cup full of chemicals, and the worst kinds of chemicals, whatever you think the worst is. What good is this human being doing by arresting this human being for the chemicals? What good is there? What good is she doing? What good is he doing? Zero. If this man did have a Soho cup full of chemicals in the back of the trunk of his car, it would make absolutely zero effect on the people who wanted chemicals today. Every single day, a crackhead gets their hit of crack. Every single day. If this guy right here was a chemical dealer and they arrested him and stole his Soho cup full of chemicals, that crackhead would find another person to get his crack from for that day. And these pigs right here get bonuses and accolades and promotions while they take this man here and they stifle his socioeconomic growth, his social growth, his cultural growth, his familial growth. They stunt the growth of a human being in entirety. And for what? They're going to confiscate the chemicals out of the Soho cup? Haven't we seen that it's not working? The so-called war on drugs, Richard Nixon, who's the criminal who got kicked out of the presidency and had to resign, that criminal who was the racist who created the war on drugs, can't we see that it doesn't work? Can't we see it? Can't we all agree to that? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm telling the truth. It doesn't work. So these people who are searching his car, they literally are the evil element in our society.
Why is she still going through it?
Because he's on probation.
That don't mean nothing.
No, it does. It absolutely does.
I do not say.
Find out the information to that, but if I am mistaken,
Oh man.
if I deny search, I'm going against my contract I signed for my probation.
And look at this pig, just so happy that they get to search his car so that they could possibly arrest him. Remember that what their goal is to arrest him.
I'm going against my contract I signed for my probation.
I don't think that's true. They're going to get your constitutional rights right now.
No, he signed those rights away when he signed his probationary deal to get out of the dungeon. Just so you know, J3, that's what happened, bro.
That's what they doing. You have every right to be secure. It don't matter your history. Was you committing a crime?
It does matter your history, J3. It really does. So if you're on probation or parole, you sign away your rights, your Fourth Amendment right. You can even be seized immediately upon any interaction with a cop, even though you haven't broken the law. Your probation can be violated for just so you know, he's on probation, he's been pulled over. The cops technically can arrest him. He did a criminal violation, which is your windows being tinted. Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, 2001, allows the police to arrest you for any infraction of the law, regardless of how minor that infraction is. That's the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. So because he's on probation and he has committed a minor violation of the law in front of a peace officer, that peace officer can arrest him. And he's also, when he's on probation, has pre-given away his Fourth Amendment right. He has already given away his Fourth Amendment right. He's already relinquished his Fourth Amendment right.
Was you committing a crime just now?
Like I explained to you, sir, he was stopped for the window tint on his vehicle, okay, which is a valid traffic stop in the state of Tennessee, okay? In the state of Tennessee, your window tint has to be at 35% or higher, okay? We tested his window tint, it's at 5%, okay, which makes it a valid stop. Mm-hmm. I've already explained everything else to you, so like I said, you can sit here and record, but that's going to be about it.
I got you. Hey, ma'am, can I get your name and badge number?
Officer Robertson, 1581.
1581, Officer Robinson.
So look, I mean, here's the part that makes me the sickest. This is the most sick part. Every single thing that this auditor did on the scene is in your trifold. Every single thing that this auditor did. When he told him to revoke consent, that's in your trifold. When the cop was, when he was interrupting the cop, you have every right to interrupt the cops, Houston versus Hill. He could even curse the cops out if he wanted to, Cohen versus California. Every single thing that this auditor said and did is in your trifold. Even further. Now, here's the sticky slope. Here's the slippery slope. If you're on probation or parole and you get out of the dungeon and a cop pulls you over. Now, in most of the time, the cop cannot extend the stop without probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion to bring in a canine dog. However, if you are on probation or parole, the cop can stop you there legally, make you wait, extend the stop to call in a canine dog because of your so-called criminal history, even though you may have been working in a pure capitalist system with supply and demand. That's what could have been happening. So every single thing that this copper said, and what do I teach you consistently over and over and over again? That when the cops pull you over, if you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, they can't ask you another question. They don't get to ask you whether you're on probation or parole because you already told them, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. Don't question me without my attorney present. This stops the questioning right there. You have to say the actual words. You have to say the actual words or they can hem you up.
I've been in Nashville since 2020.
Yeah.
First time
All right. Yeah.
I understand I have a lot to learn.
Yes, sir. You gotta look into it. Thank you, officers. Have a good night. Hey, bro.
Your knife is on the back seat.
Stay blessed.
Boom. So there you have it. That is my first like interaction with the police, like just recording a interaction that doesn't involve me.
So I wonder, do you guys think, and I wonder if J3, let me check my email real quick and see if J3 actually emailed me. Let's see if he shot me an email. We were at 17,341, still at 17,341. Let me see if he shot me an email. I'll bring him on the live stream and see if so right now, you guys make sure that you get over to Delete Laws and get a trifold. Get a trifold in your car. Don't wait. Make sure you have this bad chicken in your car. And I'll also send you one of these fancy broccoli wad rubber bands so it goes on your visor. Please do not be caught flat-footed without your trifold. There it is. Just took a second. Okay, I'm in my email now. Let's see if this guy emailed me and I can send him, unlock me, please. Oh, I'm not sure who that is. Oh, I'm not sure who that is. I guess he did not email me yet. I'm waiting for that. Dang. I wish he had sent me an email. I really wanted to bring him on the live stream. I would have liked to have spoken to him, I would have liked to have spoken to him. I haven't spoken to you yet. I haven't had any conversation with him yet. So as soon as we possibly can, but let's listen to this real quick.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous, bro. I don't know why. I was a little nervous. I didn't get a good recording. Next time, I'm definitely gonna focus on that a little bit more. The more you do it, the more practice you get, the better you'll get at it. But there you have it, man. This black man was driving in Brentwood. Brentwood, like I said, 3% black. He's driving.
So that's the whole thing. If you're going to be an auditor activist and step up to cops when they are involved with somebody or they got someone pulled over, the Fifth Amendment cop card is the best tool for you. And even if you don't actually pull the card out, if you just invoke the principles of it, as soon as you cite the cop and the cop cites you, you say, I invoke my First Amendment right. And that right is upheld by the 2017 case of Turner versus Driver. And then number 2, cop approaches and says any words at all to you. While filming, you say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. The law is in the blue. Fifth Amendment's unequivocal. Cop loses qualified immunity for questioning you. So if you're auditing cops, those first 2 steps are critical for your journey in case you have to go to a federal civil rights case. And then number 3, if the cop asks you to exit, but he's auditing on the scene. Number 4, cop says, okay, auditor, give me some ID. Well, while filming, you say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I identify as good citizen. No ID required. The law is in the blue. Hibble versus Nevada. With Raz, citizen must state how they ID. Do not give your ID without probable cause. Number 5, you tell the cop off. Vulgar language. Cop says he's going to charge you with this or with that. While filming, state my right to free speech is protected by the First Amendment. Number 6, cop loses qualified immunity for arresting you. Cop says, let me talk, don't interrupt me. Filming, state my right to free speech is protected by the First Amendment. First Amendment, 1987, Houston versus Hill. It's your right to interrupt police. That's the non-driver Fifth Amendment cop card 1 through 6. And these are only $10 and I give you 2 pair instead of 1 pair. I put it in there for you guys. I'm not promoting it, but pretty much I put an extra pair in there for you because I want you to give a set away. I don't just want you to have a set of cop cards for yourself. If you buy a set of cop cards for $10, because you get the driver card and the non-driver card. If you get a set of cop cards for $10, I give you an extra pair. So I send you this pair that you buy for $10, and then I send you an additional pair so that you can give a pair away. You only pull out the yellow and black cards if a cop's in front of you. And then you only have to decide, is this a driver or a non-driver situation? And then you just follow the 1 through 6 steps. The 1 through 6 steps. I sure hope so, Tommy. You're more than welcome to email me your order number, but all orders are shipped. So, just so you know, when you mail 1,000 things, if you lose 10 things, that's 1%. So there's going to be some things that mess up. The U.S. Post Service messes up and loses 1 letter or 2, but pretty much we're nailing down 99%. There's a few people still missing orders, but not very many. Really not very many. We have shipped off thousands of items over the past couple months. So you're going to lose a couple, but not very many. Not very many.
Driving in an all-white suburbia place. Not saying he was racially profiled. I'm not going to put that on every single case, but they pulled him over for tents. And they got to just go through his shit, right? I want you guys to let me know in the comments, right? If this Fourth Amendment waiver thing is like, is it on a individual basis?
No. It's when you're on probation, you sign away your Fourth Amendment.
Right? Do they make certain people do this? Can you decline this Fourth Amendment waiver and still get probation and parole? Like, can you still be secure in your person, in your vehicle, in your...
No. I told you I'd answer your questions. The answer is no. You cannot be secure in your vehicle, in your house. They can literally search your house anytime they want, walk up, knock on the door. If you don't answer the door, they can kick the door down and search your house. They can demand urine from you, blood from you. They can search your car on the spot. Here's the worst part. When in 2002, the cops no-knock raided my house, kicked my door down, charged me with 5 felonies. I hired Robert Shapiro. I beat all the charges. At the end of the day, because I was taking a chemical that is really for bodybuilders, but had been made illegal the year before. We were buying it offline in 2021. In 2001. In 2002, they criminalized it. 3 months after they criminalized it in 2002, they no-knock raided my house and arrested me, charged me with 5 felonies. I had I had a tiny bit of this chemical that I wasn't selling. I was using for my own personal body so I could look a certain way without taking steroids. And when the cops no-knock raided my house, and then they found this, they didn't find it. I told them, I said, I have this much chemical in a bottle, go get it. Then I went through almost 2 years of hearings of court with Robert Shapiro. And then I had to plead guilty to a possession of a controlled substance that they had criminalized 3 months earlier. That was not a controlled substance in 2001, but was now a controlled substance in 2002. So I had to plead guilty to having a controlled substance. It would go to a misdemeanor and be expunged from my record after 18 months if I went through a probationary period for 18 months and I didn't get in any trouble. I'm driving down the road. There's a lot more to this story. I'm going to leave off a lot of the caps here. I'm going down the road with a girl and a couple of my buddies in the back. The cops pull me over. Remember, I've agreed to be on a probationary period for 18 months for a misdemeanor that will be dropped off my record as soon as the 18 months is over. And when the cops pull me over, they say, oh, you're on probation. It says on the computer. They pulled out me, the girl, my two friends in the back, and put us all in torture cuffs, laid us down on the side of the road. We had to sit on the ground as they pulled everything out of my car, searched through the console, the panels, the trunk, take the spare tire out, ripped through it took an hour and my car was destroyed. Then a radio call came on. It said, 187 and, something like that, some sort of kill or murder or some kind of call over the radio or a shooting in progress. And the cops took us out of the torture cuffs and said, okay, have a nice night. And the reason why they put all my friends in torture cuffs and the reason they put me in torture cuffs and then searched my car is because I was on probation. I had agreed to a probationary contract for a misdemeanor, that it would remain a misdemeanor unless I got arrested, and then it would become a felony and I would go to jail for 5 years. That was the suspended sentence that I got. And the reason why you can't find anything about it is because the entire arrest was bullshit. It was a setup. 100%. I can't go. I will release all the details about my 2002 arrest. That was a total setup and a scam in my book. My book's coming out. I got a book coming out because so many things that I've been through in this life have been so extraordinary that I have to share the things I've experienced.
Probation and parole, like, can you still be secure in your person, in your vehicle? And
No, you're not anyway, because the 1925 Carroll Doctrine.
Your homes, because what I was reading, in some cases, they can go into your house. Like if you ghost your parole officer, they can literally go into your house, which sounds mind-blowing, without a warrant. Just
it's worse than that. It's even J3, the auditor. It's even worse than that. I covered a story in Northern California in the end of 2022. And it was in NorCal. I went up there, and what had happened was the police, using predictive programming, found a person. They randomly picked just some random people out of a computer system, literally randomly. Out of 200 people, they picked out 10, 15 people and said, track these people down. The predictive computer programming did. And it said that if you track these people down, it's going to lower crime in this area. So they go over to this guy's house and they say, hey, we're looking for this guy. And they say, he doesn't live here. That's her brother, but he doesn't live here. The cops go into the house anyway. The brother doesn't live there. Now, this is an ongoing federal civil rights lawsuit, so I haven't caught up with what exactly happened, but they can not only go into the house, if the person who just listed your address. So if I'm getting out of jail and I say, hey, Daryl Waltman here. Hey, Daryl, do you mind if I put your address down as my resident address so that I can get out of this dungeon? I'll be on probation and I might get mail there, but I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be staying at my aunt's house, but I need an address. And Daryl says, yeah, Chille, go ahead and use my address. Now the probation department can go to Daryl's house and go right in and search his whole house. This is a real problem going on in our country. And it's going to eventually get its way through the courts. But remember, the black robe tyrants, the Supreme Court, they're working against us. They're working completely against us. They're not working on the side of liberty and freedom and transparency and the Constitution. The black robe tyrants are working to protect bad actors, bad cops, bad states, bad laws, bad policies. The Supreme Court is not your friend. They are our enemies. They are an unelected group appointed by the elitists. They don't care about us. They just want us fighting each other over race, over money, over status, over property. They just want us fighting each other. That's all they want. Over politics. Oh, you're a MAGA person? Oh, I'm a Biden person. Fight each other, fight each other, fight each other. Meanwhile, the powers that be are creating legislation, policies, and procedures that are brutal, inhumane, and barbaric. That's just the plain, simple fact. That's just the plain, simple fact. It's a giant agenda. And that's what's going on. And as long as you allow them to divide you from your neighbor because that guy's black or because that person's Asian or that person's white or that person's brown, as long as you allow them to say, it's the blacks committing all the crimes. It's the blacks. It's the blacks. Don't worry about it. No. The same laws, probations, prisons, system they create for the blacks will then be applied to you. And that's what we're experiencing right now in this country. Right now in this country. That's what we're experiencing. So I'll tell you what I'll do. If anybody goes to my website right now and gets a trifold, I'll give you a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards for free. If for any trifold bought right now during this live stream, you got to go get one of these trifolds. They're $20. If you get a trifold, I will include the Fifth Amendment cop cards in your envelope for free. That's the deal I'll make you guys for today. I try to always make a deal. Try to always make it so you guys will get the stuff in your car so that you use the broccoli wad rubber band. So if you get a trifold, it's $20 from my website. I will give you the set of cop cards for free, just like a credit card. These are really, truly indestructible unless you cut them or melt them. Really, truly. So it's right now 1:33 p.m. right here. And so I'll have this special going for the trifold and the cop cards for free with the purchase of a trifold from 1:33 till maybe 2:33.
Go in and just check on things, right? That sounds bananas to me. In Tennessee, I would have to look and just get a more specific overview or understanding of what it actually means. I've never once looked into probation or parole because I've just never been faced with that situation in my life.
I have, bro. And this pig can arrest you for absolutely no reason. If you're on probation or parole, that pig can arrest you for absolutely no reason at all whatsoever. The pigs don't have to have a reason. They can just say that you're bad and they can just arrest you for absolutely no reason. It's crazy.
But yeah, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all have information, something for me to go read and check out. Let me know how I did. And if you don't mind, if you watch this far, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Y'all stay blessed. Bless up. I'm out, gang.
Let me refresh this. He's got 1.64 thousand subscribers.
Yeah.
Now he's got 30 people have subscribed. 21 comments have been added. Good job. Let's get over here and show this man some support. I'm going to drop the link for his channel right here. Subscribe to this man's channel. He's out there doing the work. I mean, really doing the work. So go ahead. And I found this morning. So for J3, let me know if we can get together and have a talk, brother. I'd love to work with you a little bit more and see if we can hone your
welcome once again
auditing
to
style.
Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
Judge tells police to return man's phone after 175 million failed password tries.
There will be a brief commercial announcement at the end of this video. Got a story here sent me by Caleb and Andrew. Caleb's on fire. Police must return phones after 175 million passcode guesses, a judge says. Now, this is happening in Canada, but this is a topic that happens here in America. We've talked about this before, that the police encounter you for whatever reason, and they get a hold of your cell phone. They go, here, unlock the phone for me, please. You go, no. And the question is, number one, what's the situation? Are you under arrest? Is the cell phone relevant? That kind of thing. But the courts have been split on that as to whether or not you can be compelled to unlock your own phone. And the argument, of course, follows the Fifth Amendment, that you cannot be forced to testify against yourself. And putting the passcode into the phone sounds like it's almost like testimony. You're testifying. You're giving up information and being compelled to do so. So the story here is out of Canada. Andrew Duffy wrote this to the Ottawa Citizen, and it has to do with the police. They've got the cell phone in their possession. The owner won't give up the passcode. And the question is, how long can they hang on to it, trying to get into it? And this raises a technical question. I'm going to ask for all you tech guys in the audience at the end. But how many times should forensic investigators be allowed to guess the password of a locked cell phone belonging to a suspected criminal? That was the question that confronted an Ottawa judge recently when he was asked to rule on an application by the Ottawa Police Department to retain 3 cell phones from the suspect. And they say they need them for 2 more years. They need them for 2 years because it might take them that long. The police seized the phones in 2022 with a warrant obtained based on information about a Google account user uploading inappropriate images. The contents of the 3 phones were all protected by complex alphanumeric passcodes. Ontario Superior Court Justice heard the police investigators tried 175 million passcodes so far in an effort to break into the phones during the past year. The problem, the judge was told, is that there are more than 44 million potential passcodes for each phone. To be more precise, the judge said there are 44, 012, 666, 865, 176, 569, 775, 543, 212, 890, 625 potential alphanumeric passcodes for each phone. I think that's billions and billions of billions. It means, the judge said, that even though 175 million passcodes were attempted, those efforts represented an infinitesimal number of potential answers. The Crown is asking for an order to find a needle in a very large haystack. The court heard that forensic investigators used brute force dictionary attack in an attempt to break into the phone to view the contents. The method employs specialized software and a dictionary of passwords. So you could load in, theoretically, all the words in the dictionary, and it would go and come back, go, okay, none of those are the passcode, because none of them worked. That's assuming the person used a word in the dictionary. The passcode dictionary features English language words combined with numbers and others that employ leet speak. The system of modified spelling replaces letters with related numbers or special characters. So, for instance, alert might be the @ symbol and then alert, or fear might be F34R. More advanced leet speak replaces all of a word's letters with numbers or symbols. And of course, if it's just numbers and symbols and gibberish, all bets are off, right? Takes about 8 days to test 30 million passcodes from an existing password dictionary, the court heard, but success depends entirely on whether the sought-after passcode is included in a dictionary like that. The police use a number of password dictionaries and have recently added a new password-generating program called Mentalist. The program allows police to create...
You gotta be kidding me. A program called Mentalist so they can try to get into your phone?
Customized lists of passcodes, and it can produce more than 2 million answers from one 8-character English word. In an attempt to break into the phones of the suspect in their investigation, investigators use general password dictionaries along with specialized ones related to the man's known interests. And
I mean, how outrageous is this that they're sitting there trying to figure out ways to get into your phone? Wow, that's just crazy.
None of them proved successful. The police asked the court to give them 2 more years to try breaking into the phones using specialized passcode lists generated by Mentalist. An Ottawa police constable, a digital forensic investigator in the case, testified that he could create more passcode dictionaries than he could use during a lifetime with Mentalist. In his ruling, the judge said the court had to balance the property rights of an individual against the state's legitimate interest in preserving evidence and investigation. The phones, he said, have no evidentiary value unless the police can get into them. So here it's interesting because the Canadian court is not saying it's privacy versus the needs of the police. They're saying it's a property right question. That's that guy's phone. It's his phone, right? So it's a property rights question. So you have it. It doesn't do you any good. Give it back. While it is certainly possible that they may find the needle in the next 2 years, the odds are so incredibly low as to be virtually non-existent, the judge said. A detention order for a further 6 months or 2 years or even a decade will not alter the calculus in any meaningful way. He denied the Crown's application to retain the phones and ordered them returned or destroyed. The judge said the investigation can continue without the phones, and he noted that the police have made a formal request to obtain more data from Google. This strikes me as a potentially more fruitful avenue of investigation than using brute force to enter the phones. So I have a question, and this is something that's bugged me for years, is I've heard stories about somebody who's got a system someplace that's password protected, passcode protected. And somebody then goes and does a brute force attack on it and enters 35 million passwords and gets in. Why do systems allow that many login attempts? And I'm not saying that they should have just a cap or beyond which it does, but just say you can only do one password attempt every 30 seconds because a human doesn't need to do it faster than that.
Right.
So if I password protect something of mine and I type in the password and it's wrong, I just typed it wrong. I fat fingered it. Oh, I'll try it again. I don't mind waiting 20 seconds to type it in a second time. Didn't work? Huh. Okay. But the idea that a legitimate user is going to actually say, you know something, I forgot my password. I'm going to throw 175 million passwords at it and see if I can get in. Is a legitimate user ever going to do that? So my question is, why would any system that relies on passcodes enable people to try hundreds of millions of combinations in short periods of time, which is humanly impossible, wouldn't seem to do anybody any good except for hackers and the government. But the point,
yes, that's the whole thing with Leto. Leto is middle of the road, vanilla. He thinks that if you have a headlight out, that he would appreciate the cops pulling him over to tell him the headlight's out. That's Steve Leto. Whether I like that or not, that's what Steve Leto said. He would appreciate it if the cop pulled him over and told him his headlight was out. So we're coming from two different places here. That being said, he's saying exactly what you and I know to be true. The only person who would benefit, or people who would benefit from putting in 175 million passcodes in, I don't know, however many days that takes, has to be either a hacker or a government trying to get into your personal property. So why wouldn't the software company make it so that they can't just get into my stuff? Why would they do that? I don't really.
Point is that I cannot think of a legitimate reason why something that's passcode protected would allow thousands and thousands and thousands of password attempts in a minute. Just say one every 30 seconds. And there's a parallel that I can think of right off the top of my head. I used to run a bulletin board. I ran a bulletin board years ago for people who use metal detectors. And there was a situation where people would come on and spam the bulletin board. Now, you could block known spammers, but the problem is they would just simply change their name and come back in and spam it again. And what they would often do is they'd post spam on like every single post. And you'd have to go in and delete it. And so they had a thing called flood control. And so you could set flood control to where if someone comes in and they log in and they type something, the second they post it, they're limited from posting anything else for a length of time. If things got out of hand, I'd say 5 minutes. But if things weren't out of hand, I leave it at 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And I never had complaints from legitimate users. But once in a while, if somebody go, hey, Steve, I tried posting something and it wouldn't let me for a minute. And so I'd make a post public and say, by the way, guys, just to let you know that the board is being overrun by bots posting garbage. So I instituted a flood control. And I'd explain what it is. People go, oh, thank you. Notice that there's not a lot of spam on your site. Thank you. It's good. And what would happen is, yes, the bots, if they wanted to, could figure out how long that gap was and come in every 5 minutes and post something new. But they realized there's other boards that didn't have flood control turned on. They would just go there. And so it's the same thing as where you make your site less attractive to people who are going to do stuff like that. And they'll go someplace else. And they did. So again, if anybody can explain to me why you can't set the program to simply say you can only try one password a minute or 30 seconds, because no human would get upset by being told you can only try to log in once every 30 seconds. And we're doing this to eliminate brute force attacks on accounts like yours. Most people go, oh, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. But no, we have a situation right now where the police tried 175 million guesses and they want to try a few trillion more. It shouldn't be that easy. It should not be that easy. Now, they're still locked out, but I still think it's too easy. So Andrew and Caleb, thanks for sending that from the Ottawa Citizen. And Andrew Duffy wrote it. Police must return phones after 175 million passcode guesses, according to the judge. But again, that's a Canadian judge, but it's an interesting topic. And notice again, he's not looking at it from a constitutional Fifth Amendment privacy rights type situation or testimony against yourself situation. He's looking at a simple property question. That's this guy's phone and you've got it. It's not doing you any good. Give it back. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye. I told you at the top that we'd have a brief ad at the end. So here we are. Of course, I'm talking about Factor, the subscription.
So have we not? So, I'm going to do a lecture about this as soon as my new wall is put up in my new studio. But I'm going to do a long form lecture about this where I show you the Supreme Court cases and show you exactly what's happened here. But what Leto was just talking about was that the technology companies could easily put it where they could not try 175 million passcodes for your phone. So then how come they don't do that? So let me bring you back to the 1927 case of Olmsted versus the United States. If you're unfamiliar, from 1920 till 1933, alcohol was criminalized in the United States of America. The 18th Amendment criminalized alcohol, piggybacking off the Volstead Act of 1919. The Volstead Act criminalized alcohol, but then the 18th Amendment, which had a year to be instituted, then went into effect in the year 1920. Alcohol was criminalized from 1920 till 1933. Over that time period, multiple different alcohol gangs emerged. One of those you've heard of called Al Capone. Everybody's heard of Al Capone. Al Capone was famous for being an alcohol bootlegger. His competition was another gang called Lucky Luciano. Both of those gangs, Lucky Luciano's gang and Al Capone's gang, worked with the biggest alcohol swindling gang in America, the United States Police. In 1927, Roy Olmsted had been bootlegging alcohol from Canada into Seattle. He was a lieutenant in the Seattle Police Department. Roy Olmsted was arrested in 1925 along with 11 other piggies, and they were all charged with bootlegging alcohol, which was a felony and illegal. You went to prison for years. In 1927, the way they caught Roy Olmsted, in 1925, the way they caught him was when J. Edgar Hoover took over the FBI in 1924. Then he instituted where he put entire teams of the FBI inside of the phone company. Which phone company is that? Comcast, AT&T. The phone companies you've heard of today are still the phone companies that have the power today. And why is that? That's another conversation. But what Hoover did, Hoover was the head of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. He put entire teams inside of AT&T, inside of Comcast, inside of Bell, the phone companies, where it used to be you just took the little knob out, stuck it in, and the operator would say, Mr. DeCastro, Mr. Meese is calling for you. And then I would say, okay, patch him through. And then they would patch him through, and I would be holding this in my hand. I would have this piece up to my ear, and then I would be able to listen to Mr. Wise, as we had a conversation over the phone. The operator was listening to the conversation the entire time. So what happened was J. Edgar Hoover, he put his own team of FBI agents inside of Bell and Comcast and AT&T. He put whole teams of FBI agents inside of the corporation that is the phone companies. And he was able to then eavesdrop on Roy Olmsted's phone calls from Seattle to Canada, where they were planning on bootlegging alcohol back and forth. And then they went to court, and that's how they find them. The Supreme Court in 1927 was headed by a guy named William Howard Taft. William Howard Taft is one of the most evil, reprehensible people in the history of our country. William Howard Taft upheld Roy Olmsted's conviction, even though the FBI had put agents inside of the phone company and intercepted his phone calls, which is illegal. It's an illegal search and seizure. It's a violation of my Fourth Amendment. You don't have rights to my phone calls. William Howard Taft, though, however, was a tyrant piece of shit. We can only pray that he's burning in hell and that the devil has a pitchfork up his arse, because William Howard Taft was one of the worst people in the history of time, period. I could write a book about him. He's terrible. So when that conviction was upheld in 1927, it was that holding that the police and the FBI and the CIA could just pack the phone company full of people and just listen on your conversations. That lasted from 1927 until 1967 in a case called Katz versus United States. Katz versus United States overturned Olmsted versus United States. It only took 40 years, which is record time for the Supreme Court. Katz versus United States is where Katz was in a phone booth. The FBI had put listening devices inside of the phone booth. And then when he made a phone call on the public phone call, they wiretapped him from the listening devices they put on the receiver of the phone and the bugs in the phone booth. It went to court, and the Supreme Court, a broken clock is right twice a day. The Supreme Court finally got it right and said, no, you cannot just... People have an expectation of privacy using a public phone booth. So if you wiretap the phone booth, then the wiretap that you put in there to specifically catch somebody is illegal, and it's deemed unconstitutional. You can't wiretap people's phones. Now, did that change what the FBI does? Didn't we see in 2022 the Twitter files? What was happening at Twitter? It was packed full of FBI, CIA, and government agents. Packed full. Twitter was being ran by the government, Democrats and Republicans, and they were taking turns censoring people's tweets. You can't have that thought deleted. You can't have that thought deleted. So what's happening today? What Leto's talking about is the software technology companies. You shouldn't be able to test a phone 175 million times. The technology companies could easily make it so you can only put the passcode in once every 10 seconds. And after 9 or 10 tries, the phone's wiped. That option's still available if you want your phone wiped because it gets stolen. I don't know if you want that option. You would rather have it so that the cops can't just search your phone. However, since the FBI packed Bell and AT&T and Comcast full of FBI agents in 1924, the practice has still been being maintained. That means that Sony and Universal Pictures and Facebook and formerly X, we used to be Twitter. I don't know if it's still packed full of agents. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they still have entire agencies of FBI, CIA, and police. Right now, the cops who work at YouTube, the cops who have their own little office in YouTube, they're saying that I can't get more than 10,000 views on any video. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. There's 500 people here at one time. Now we're down to 375 people. This video right here will get 3, 4, 5,000 people to watch it. At 10,000 views, YouTube has a filter on top of my account. It doesn't go on to distribution anymore. And why is that? Because I'm teaching you guys the truth. I'm telling you that since 1924, since J. Edgar Hoover put FBI agents inside of the phone companies, the CIA, the FBI, ICE, your local police department, Fraternal Order of Police have put policing agencies inside of every single software company, technology company, social media company, newspaper company, TV company, It's packed full of agents from the FBI, the CIA, and the police. That's a fact. We know that from the Twitter files. We know it to be a fact from the Twitter files. So then why wouldn't you extrapolate that and say, well, does Facebook have the same thing? Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg and Barack Obama met 200 times at the White House in the year 2009. Why are Zuckerberg and Obama sitting down and powwowing 200 times in 2009? Oh, he wasn't sitting down with Obama? No. Who was he sitting down with? The Secret Service, the FBI, the CIA. That's who Zuckerberg was sitting down with. All through Facebook, it's packed full of cops, packed full of FBI, packed full of CIA. That's the simple fact of the matter. It's packed full of those agencies, agents, and people who don't give a shit about you or I, don't care about liberty or freedom, don't care about transparency at all. All they want to do is make sure that you don't get the information from people who know it. Remember, my accounts on TikTok have been deleted a dozen times. I've had 7, 8 YouTube accounts deleted. I've had my Instagram accounts deleted. Why is that? I haven't called for a riot. I haven't called for an insurrection. I've called for no violence. So why would you delete my accounts? I'm giving you information that they don't want you to have. They don't want you to invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. They don't want you to flip open your trifold and say, yeah, go ahead. You can search my car and then I revoke consent. They don't want that. They don't want you to know that it's your right to film cops upheld by Turner versus Driver and Israel versus Yeehaw. They don't want you to know that information. They don't want you to know it. They don't want you to know it. They literally don't want you to know what I'm teaching you. And my channel is suffering because of it dramatically. I mean, I could show you the analytics. It just goes straight like this, just straight down. And it's been going that way for 6 months now. 6 months now. Since I guess it would be since July, August of last year, the algorithm has just dropped me down consistently. Dropped down all of us though, not just me. It's dropped down every single activist who teaches civil liberties, that fights against the government, that shows videos of corruption. I mean, every single one. So this is pretty brutal. We'll watch it. I mean, I guess Daddy YouTube will have to decide if you can take it, if you can handle seeing the video. Hopefully you guys can handle seeing the video. It doesn't even show the kid get shot, but you know, YouTube, they may just go ahead and hammer my video just because that's what they do. That's what they do.
I have that caller on the phone. She's whispering. The male subject won't let her go to the door. Keep knocking the door.
We are at the door. If she's giving us permission to kick it in, we'll kick it in.
That's how they knock on a door. But if you knock on their window with 2 taps, they'll arrest you and call it menacing.
She's giving you permission to keep the door in.
It ain't that easy.
Who is he?
Let me see your ass. Let me see your ass. Where's he at? Where's he at? You better come on out. Come out, ma'am. Does he have any weapons? Come on out.
Go that way. Step out. Go.
Come out, sir. Don't make us come in.
Look, go. You need to move. Get from behind me. Go on out there.
Where is he at?
I just was trying to tell her she's talking to the police.
Police. You got any weapons? You better put them down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't make us come in.
So if the guy's isolated, why do you have to go in? Just stand outside and put a camera on a stick. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point in going in? I don't understand why they have to go in.
Look, go. You need to move. Get from behind me. Go on out there.
Where is he at?
I just was trying to tell her she called me the fool.
Police, you got any weapons? You better put them down. Oh my God!
Shot a kid.
Miss that.
Shot a kid.
Miss that. Miss that.
Mess that. Mess that. That's what he's saying.
We need
Mess
a map.
that. That's what he's saying. I'm not sure. What does mess that mean? I'm not really sure what mess that means. Does anybody know what that means? I'm just kind of confused. I've never heard that before. Ottawa cops who kicked man suffering crisis in chest and stepped on his neck for 2 minutes apologized in court. Lawyer requests conditional sentence to save officer's policing career after the guy kicked a guy and then stepped on his neck for 2 minutes. So look how little the guy is too. Look how little this guy is that they kick. He's about 4'8". Look, that's how big the guy is. Every cop there is bigger than him. And there's the guy walking in the hallway. There he is. You see him right there? He's literally 5'4", maybe. Cop kicks him. He grabs the foot. Oh, I see. So you can't tell, but that's the top of the kid's head right there. That's the rounding of the kid's head right there. And then that's the kid's arm over here to the left side right here outside the ring. And that's his foot stepping on the kid's neck. He's stepping on his neck. And those other cops are watching. They're watching him step on someone's neck. Wow. There's got to be some comments in here. There's got to be a link. There's got to be a link in here. Wow. Where's the... You see, comrade, when the judge drives the car, underage girl cop will hopefully save the judging's career. Look at all this. Isn't that what I just said? Look at all those good cops standing by and watching. I mean, and isn't that what I said? News article. Let me put it in the, so you guys can see it. Suspended Ottawa pig, Gordon Burrick, apologizes in court. Lawyer requests conditional sentence so he can save the pig's career. Ontario Court Justice Janet Bryan is expected to render a sentence later this month after hearing submissions on Monday from defense lawyer Karen Stein, from Crown Prosecutor Vlatko Kerdzik, who asked the judge to impose a conditional sentence of 4 to 6 months, which would include a period of house arrest and curfew, followed by 1 year probation. Burrick is now the subject of an internal affairs investigation, as has been suspended since October when he was found guilty of assaulting a man while on duty on August 4th, 2021, takedown inside of Ottawa community housing. Burrick told the judge he was ashamed of his conduct. You're ashamed of it? Yeah. No. I will forever be disappointed in myself and wish I could have handled the matter better. Great. You can handle the matter better all you want. You just can't be a copper anymore, because you can't be trusted not to abuse people. You can't be trusted not to hurt people. And that's, we've got to be steadfast in that. We can't be, oh man, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. That is crazy. You have to be absolutely kidding me. There's no way that's real. You know what? It's got to be real. It's Winthrop Community. Let me open this big so you can see it. This says Winthrop Community holds forum after police lieutenant church leader charged with child pedo.
Together tonight to ask questions and then begin the process of healing after a police lieutenant was arrested on child rape charges. We do want to warn you, the details are disturbing. 5 Investigates was the first to bring you the story.
Oh, we covered this. We covered this guy getting out. Why'd they put the cuffs in the front? And how come they're so loose? Do you see how loose his cuffs are? Look how loose those cuffs are. They're sliding up onto the back of his hand. His cuffs are so loose and they're cuffed in the front. How come he's not cuffed in the back? Put a 1 in the chat if you get cuffed in the back, if you got caught being a child pedo.
Court documents say Lieutenant James Feely confessed to family members and to his police chief that he rubbed and touched a child and had that child perform oral sex on him. Documents show the child was under the age of 12. They say
that is just disgusting. Under the age of 12. That is just disgusting. He should be taken out and shot. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't get the words out. I can't even speak. Under the age of 12? Under the age of 12? You forced a kid under the age of 12 to do oral on you? You forced someone under the age of 12? My nephew's 8. God help this man if that was my family member, because God would have to judge his soul if I found out that he did this to my nephew under 8 years old. I would kill him. I would absolutely kill him. 100%. If I found out he forced my nephew under the age of 12 years old to do oral on him, I would kill him. It's a fact. I'd spend the rest of my life in prison, but I'd kill him. I wouldn't be able to tolerate knowing that what he did.
Feely made the confession on Christmas night at a ceremony at a cemetery near his parents' grave site while threatening to harm himself. The town of Winthrop and Winthrop Police Department hosted a community forum this evening, allowing residents to ask questions and express their concerns.
There's only one person to blame for this particular incident, and that person is Jim Feely. He's the perpetrator of this crime.
No, it's the other cops that knew about it that hit it. There's other cops who knew. Other people knew on the police department. They knew.
We as a community and the police department must denounce and stand by with the victims.
Feely is tonight being held on bail. He is scheduled to be back in court on January 29.
These people are
sick. The Winthrop community coming together tonight to ask questions and then begin.
People are just sick. I couldn't even, like, I don't know about you, but I got this feeling in my stomach right now. Like, you know, I can understand a 20-something-year-old guy getting involved with a 17-year-old person. I could understand that. 20-something-year-old female getting involved with a 17-year-old guy, 20-something-year-old male getting involved with a 17-year-old female. I could understand that. I don't endorse it. I don't think it's right. You're 25 dating a 17-year-old girl. I think there's a problem with that. But I could understand it. I can't understand someone who's over 30 years old, over 19 years old, involving themselves with someone who's under 12 years old. Their body's not even developed. They don't even know how to do physical interactions. They don't even know how to do anything. They don't even get crushes on people yet. There's no crush where like, oh, I'm attracted to this female and I want to date her. There's none of those things. And this pedophile was doing this to this girl under 12 years old. Could have been a boy for all we know. Could have been a boy.
Ms. Freeland, how come the IRGC is not a terrorist group? Why is your government supporting Islamonazi? What? What are you doing? Arrest for assault.
Wow. He's not allowed to ask her questions? What?
Why are you pushing me?
Whoa, why is that guy allowed to attack that man? So this is a journalist. He has Rebel News. He's holding a Rebel News mic.
Ms. Freeland, how come the IRGC is not a terrorist group? Why is your government supporting Islamo-Nazis? What?
Wow.
What are you doing?
You're under arrest for assault. Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault.
Who are you?
You're under arrest for assault. Police, you're under arrest for assault.
How am I under arrest? You bumped into me.
You pushed into me.
I was just.
Wow. Wow. He just said that. He just said you pushed into me. He just said that. He just said you pushed into me.
Under arrest. How am I under arrest? You bumped into me.
You pushed into me.
I was just.
You pushed into me, sir? That's what he just said?
Scrubbing. I got my credentials here and you just bumped into me. So excuse
Police,
me.
you're under arrest.
What is your name in your badge? What is your name in your badge?
You've been told you're under arrest.
Why am I under arrest? He blocked my way. What? I was just scrumming Christian Freeland.
I'm a police officer. You're under arrest.
What is your name and your badge number?
Assault on the police.
Wow, he shouldn't be up anymore. He should be fired. So should the guy next. They should both be fired. You assaulted me as I slammed into you?
How is that possible?
Because
you assaulted me years ago. Blackface. You know, was asking questions aggressively.
I thought he was under arrest. Why are your hands off of him now?
you're almost pushing everybody over.
What a lie. It's not.
Lincoln, you got this on video, right? He's saying I'm pushing people over. That's an absolute falsehood.
There were feet were shuffling.
So now it appeared that way. That's what you're saying, officer. It appeared I was pushing people. I didn't
Wow.
touch
So
his-
now we know they're just lying jackboot thug pigs. This guy, look at him. If you look at him, you would think, oh, he's an honest guy. That's what I saw. I swear. Do you believe that now? Do you understand now that the demons come in all shapes and sizes? They don't have to look like thugs. This guy looks like someone that you would go, oh, I'm so glad my sister's dating him. He looks like a very standing upright man. He just said he just saw him assault a cop. He just said it. He said, that's what I saw.
That way. That's what you're saying, officer. It appeared I was pushing people. I didn't touch a single.
That's what I saw. That's what I thought. I mean, disgusting.
That was a little bit aggressive for what was happening. Get that?
That's disgusting.
You're under arrest. Please take the microphone out of my face.
Well,
Get the microphone out of your face. You're being interviewed and you're standing there being interviewed.
I'd like an ongoing record of this.
Can I have the microphone? Can I have the microphone? Can I have the microphone? Can you give?
Don't resist. Don't resist. And look at all the brown shirts, the Nazis. Look at these Nazi pigs. There's going to come a day that we have to organize and we have to change this. There's going to come a day.
Take your hand out. Why am I under arrest? I'm just doing my job.
Resist. You don't need to resist. I don't have. You don't have to say anything. You know the drill.
And now here's this brown shirt in his face, just towing the brown shirt Nazi line.
I have nothing to hide, officer. Welcome to Blackfaces Canada. This is what they do to journalists. I was merely scrumming Minister Freeland, and a RCMP officer blocked me. And evidently, this is now a trumped-up charge of assault, folks.
No, we saw it, David. We saw it. It's David.com. Standwithdavid.com. That's you see the website down there. Standwithdavid.com.
I didn't come here to cause any trouble. I came here to do my job, and now I'm handcuffed. This is
happening all over the country, everywhere. You're not allowed to film or question the government. I covered a video yesterday.
Canada now, folks. You know, this is the Gestapo taking blackface's orders. Outrageous. And meanwhile, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is not a terrorist organization. Is not a terrorist organization. And these liberals have the audacity to show up at a vigil for a plane.
So let me jump in here real quick. Do you think the people who are arresting him are the liberals? Is that what you think? Do you think those people who signed up to do that to him, would you call them the liberals? No. They are the pigs. The liberals, conservatives, Republicans, Democrats can pass any laws they want through their bullshit bureaucracy. It takes a human being. It takes one of these guys right here to be willing to do the work to you. It takes this guy right here. People say, Chille, why do you have such a problem with cops when it's the legislators doing this? Who's hauling him off? Who's got him in torture cuffs? Who bumped into him and said, "Oh, you bumped into me"? Who does that? Aren't those the pigs? Aren't those the pigs? Those are the pigs, right? Those are the pigs, right? I mean, those are pigs who have grabbed him, right? And now he has to go to jail. And now he has a standwithdavid.com, another fundraiser to help another person who's been arrested for no reason at all. There's going to come a time where we have to organize. Be prepared in the next decade when they come down with the bullshit. Be prepared to organize and be ready for whatever may come next. Be prepared to be organized. I'm actually going to start my website, teamdlz.com, so that I can get a group of people who will join the website that will be prepared for when the day comes that we have to be organized. The day's coming where we have to be organized. It's coming. You can see it. The censorship, the blocking, the shadow banning. I can't get a long form video to get over 4,000 or 5,000 views. Can't get it. 10,000 views is like, oh my God, wow. That means that YouTube has a filter over my account. Doesn't matter how good the video is. If the video is really good, after a couple hours, YouTube will demonetize the video. When I go to appeal it, YouTube says your appeal's denied. So that video now goes into the cellar, into the basement. YouTube is shadow banning me so bad, I can't wait to sue them. I cannot wait to sue YouTube. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, those are going to be our enemies. If we don't eventually all of us shift to Rumble, shift to X, our accounts will be deleted and we will be silenced. Be prepared to get organized. Be prepared. Be prepared for the day that comes where we have to be organized and get together. The day's coming where if we don't get organized, they're going to run roughshod over us. Our freedom will be gone.
In which almost 200 people were killed, 57 Canadians, one unborn child, by the way. And look at this. They don't want, it is against the law in Blackface's Canada to ask insensitive questions, impolite questions. So
it's the same thing here, dude. The Republicans and Democrats, you can't get a fair debate or a fair election because the Democrats and Republicans will pack the hall full of their donors. And the donors have so much indisposable money. It's unbelievable. You know how like when you have a good day and you make like $300 or $400 and you're like, man, I had a good day. I made like $300, $400 today. Put a 1 in the chat if a $300 day is a pretty good day for you. Put a 1 in the chat if a $300 day is a really decent day. Let me put a 1 in the chat for me. If I make $300 in a day, that's $3,000 every 10 days. That's $9,000 a month. $300 a day for me is pretty good money. I like $300 a day. The donors who go to the Republican and Democratic debates, those people, they make $30,000 a day. Yeah. They make $3,000 every hour. Did you know that? The donors who pay for the candidates that we get a choice on voting for, they make $10,000 every day. Every single day. $10,000, $20,000 every day. For you and I, a $300 day is pretty good. Is pretty good. I mean, DJ Allen says, I need $600 a day. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever made $600 in a day. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever made. Michelle's made $600 in a day. That's great. Congratulations, Michelle. Anybody else make $600 in a day? Just wondering. Put a 1 in the chat if you make $600 every single day. That's $6,000 every 10 days. That's $18,000 a month. Do you make $18,000 a month? William does. Bruce does. It's good money, Bruce. Los, Robert. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. So some of you guys make some pretty good money. Let me know. Let me know. Donation tabs are wide open. If you're making $18,000 a month, let me know. Let me know. The donors who go to these things are super rich, beyond what you could even fathom.
A Canadian government that props up an Islamo-fascist regime, that's okay. But if you ask questions about that, that's not okay. This is an absolute outrage. I didn't come here to cause trouble, folks. I just came here to ask questions.
You're gonna have to back up a little bit, okay? They're conducting an
That's my cameraman, sir. He's not doing anything.
No, I just want to provide some space so that everybody's safe here, okay?
Oh, what a load of shit. Did you hear the bullshit? Man, this guy's such a pig. This cop right here is such a pig.
This is an absolute outrage. I didn't come here to cause trouble, folks. I just came here to ask questions.
You're gonna have to back up a little.
So this is the pig. This is what they look like. Remember that. Might look like a presentable person that seems like a decent person. This is an evil demon pig.
Okay, they're conducting an.
That's my cameraman, sir. He's not doing anything.
No, I just want to provide some space so that everybody's safe here.
Oh, is that what you want to do? Put a 1 in the chat if this guy's full of shit. You want to provide some space so that everybody is safe? That is such a lie. You're a liar, bro.
Okay.
Okay? No, not okay, dude. Not okay at all. You're a jackboot thug pig, dude. You are the problem with our country. You're against freedom. You're against America. Well, I guess this is in Canada. He's against everything that you and I stand for. Everything that you and I stand for. Completely, utterly against everything you and I stand for. I mean, I'm kind of sick. Just watching this stuff has made me freaking sick. It's made me sick. It has just turned me where now when I see these jackboot thug pigs, I'm already fired up before I even begin, before the conversation even starts. I'm already just hellfire and brimstone. Already, from the moment I interact with that pig, from the very first second I interact with that pig. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm going to give you guys a set of cop cards with the purchase of your trifold. So if anybody here gets a trifold from me right now on deletelaws.com, they're $20. I'm going to give you a set of Fifth Amendment cop cards for free with your trifold. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give away a free set of cop cards with the purchase of your trifold. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, is that right? And then someone just said right here, Lenny just said that Rumble and Truth Social X is still censoring. So we're not going to have any platform in our country that is going to allow you to the freedom to post whatever you want. Listen, I'm not sure if you guys know this or not. My last name is DeCastro. I'm of Jewish heritage. 7 generations ago, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was Jewish. He jumped in the bottom of a boat in Portugal, took that boat from the shores of Portugal to the shores of Cartagena, Colombia. He got off that boat. 6 generations later, I was born. 3 generations later, my family converted from Judaism to Catholicism. And so then 4 generations ago, my family converted to Catholicism. And so I am of Jewish heritage. My last name, DeCastro, is a Jewish surname. So that's how I have my name, is because of my Jewish roots. So now I would be 100% for an absolute outright Nazi channel. You could have all the Nazism you wanted on your channel. I know who you are now. It helps me identify you. You could have the biggest Nazi channel you wanted. I hate Nazis. I would still be okay with it. Now, if the Nazis start hurting people or start doing crimes, that's another thing. But if they're just assembling and they're just using free speech and just using media, then the Nazis can do whatever they want. I'm from Jewish descent. Am I against Nazis? Yes. Yes. 100%. They tried to kill my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Had he not jumped in the bottom of that boat and got himself to Colombia, I wouldn't be born. So am I against Nazis? Yes. I hate Nazis. Hate Nazis. Hate Nazis. I can't be any more emphatic about it. I hate Nazis. Would I be opposed to a Nazi channel? Nope. Police have Police One. Isn't that a Nazi channel? Police One on Facebook, Police One on Twitter, Police One on TikTok, Police One on Instagram. They do have a channel called Police One. As far as I'm concerned, that's a Nazi hate group. They're allowed to have their hate group. Why can't the Nazis? Why can't you should be able to have a channel based on whatever you want. You could have a channel that says you hate cats and list all the reasons why cats are terrible. You should be free to have that channel. How come you can't? There's people deciding this is moral, this is immoral, this is worth value, this is valueless. Who are those people? They're none of us. None of us are the deciders. None of us are deciding. Nobody here is. All I can do is this: get my trifold in your car. Get it in your car. If you can't afford a trifold, I'll email you one. If you can't afford a Fifth Amendment cop card, I'll email one. If you can't afford a Fifth Amendment cop card, if you pay for shipping and handling, I'll give you one anyway. You cover the $5 shipping and handling, I'll give you one for free anyway. It'll cost you $5, I guess. You want to cover the $5 shipping and handling? I'll send you one of these in the mail. There's so many hundreds of you that ask me to send you free cards. I'll go broke from the postage. But if you buy a trifold, you get a cop card in the envelope. Right now during this live stream, I started this live stream at 12:30. So from 12:30 till 2:30, if you bought a trifold, I'm going to give you a cop card for free. You got to buy one trifold to get your cop card for free. Mark, Mark said something. I get your point, but I feel we shouldn't hate anyone. Okay. The truth is you really want to mess someone up, love them. True. They're probably not used to being loved. I could agree with that. I could agree with that to a point. Unfortunately, Mark, thanks for coming, bro. I appreciate you. You know I do. Unfortunately for me, Mark, I've seen these cops treat people so badly that I hate the entire organization. When I sit down with a pig and I sit across from him one-on-one and we start to talk, I don't hate that human being. I hate that organization. I hate the policies. I hate the criminal injustice industry. I hate every bit of it. I don't hate people individually. It's really hard for me to hate people individually. I hope that the pigs today, the pigs who watch my channel and sit there and point their gun at the screen and say, I hate him, I wish I could kill him. I hope that you retire from being a pig and that you find God and that you find consciousness. Because right now, you're living a brainwashed jackboot thug pig life. Doesn't matter if I don't like you. Doesn't matter if you hate me. Doesn't matter if you and I are on opposite sides of the fence. I don't wish you death. I don't wish you evil. I wish that you get touched by God and that you quit being a tyrannical jackboot thug pig and that you join the side of goodness and freedom. That's what I hope. I don't hate them. I can't stand them. Do I hate them? I'm so stuck on this. I don't know if I hate them or I don't hate them. I just have such a hard time with these jackboot thug pigs who do these things. Every time we watch a video, it is a pig who is doing this. It is an absolute pig who's doing this. And that's wow, that's pretty sad. Oh, this is in a foreign country. Plus, if I show it, what will happen is they will. Drunk cop kills wife in crash. Charges reduced from felony intoxicated driving and involuntary manslaughter to misdemeanor. Wife had butt in the window. No way. There's just no way that's true. Is that true? I'll show you guys this. There's just no way. No way, boy. No way. No way, boy. No way. Wow. Look at this. This is insane to me. I'll put it over my shoulder so you guys can see it. Fraternal order of police president reacts to Alabama officer charged with murder After vehicle repossession, an officer leaves his house in search of harming anybody. Just what kind of country are we living in? That's cops beating people. This is the one. Drunk cop kills wife. Charges reduced from felony intoxicated driving and involuntary manslaughter to misdemeanor. Wow. That is just insane. That is just wacky. Jefferson County accused of driving drunk. Let's see if we can get the story.
Felony charges are downgraded to a misdemeanor for a former Jefferson County deputy charged in a crash that killed his wife. Colby McCreary was driving in April last year when he went off the road and crashed. His wife, Savannah McCreary, was a passenger and died. He was originally charged with DWI, resulting in death, and involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors say they can't charge him with these felonies because they can't prove them beyond a reasonable doubt. Prosecutors say Savannah wasn't wearing a seatbelt or in her seat.
Wow. They can make excuses for their own every time. And that's what we're seeing time and time again. We're seeing that they make excuses for their own. They try to find a reason why it's valid or okay for their people to do it. But the truth is that they're just covering up. And this one right here says Philippines, 171 pigs charged with drug offenses, planting evidence, 151,000 plus cases under investigation. So in other words, cops get incentivizations for planting drugs on people, and so they do. And so they do. We can watch.
Ang nangyari ay 177 police officers have been charged with drug-related offenses, including the planting of evidence, unlawful arrest, and excessive violence dito pa lang sa NCR. We are now pursuing 151,818 court cases by the DOJ in 2022 to 2023.
How could you possibly look through 151,000 cases?
121,500.
How could you look at 121,000 convictions and continue to be a DA or a prosecutor? You couldn't.
82 na ikulog na itong mga violators tungkol dito sa mga drug trade. Hindi lang ito sa mga magagandang numero. Kung hindi ay talagang magiging improvement. Pinapaganda talaga natin ang komunidad natin. Pinapaganda talaga natin ang buhay ng ating.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Yeah, you know, I'm thinking about what you said. Was it Mark who said that earlier? It's not hate. Good to see you, Wyatt. How you doing, man? It's not hatred. It's disgust. I think it's just disgust. Put a 1 in the chat if you're just disgusted with government and the despotistic state that they've created. They've created a state of despotism where they will enforce these arbitrarily created ordinance, statutes, and codes upon us in the most evil and cruel way they possibly can. I mean, they shot that a little kid who came running out of his house with his hands up because they teach the cops to be scared of everything and everybody. We got a bunch of coward pigs now. They're just a bunch of cowards. That's just the way it is. They're just cowards. Truth of God, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Good to see you, Victor Rice. What is going on? Always good to see you, Wyatt. Anytime, my friend. Dan Hanlon, always nice to see you. What's going on, Clint? How are you, Citizens Broadcast? What is going on, Lenny? How are you, my friend? Tracking the Dwarf Lantern. I never see you. I thought you were a troll tracking the Dwarf Lantern. I didn't know. Or wait, maybe that was tracking. There's another handle called tracking. So it's not tracking the Dwarf Lantern. There's another one that has tracking. That's definitely a troll channel. Tracking the Dwarf Lantern, I think, is old school. I just haven't seen him in a while. Sorry. I when you have a near photographic memory, you remember everything, but sometimes your brain doesn't put it in the same file that it's supposed to go in. Bruce, what is going on, my friend? Always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Alan Hub is here. What is going on? Jeff hates pigs. Jeff Hates Pigs. Jeff Hates Pigs is here. Do we got Chevy in the room too? I haven't seen Chevy yet. Angie B is here. What is going on? Gloria, how are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Jackie, so happy to provide some assistance. Brick, good to see you. Brooke, good to see you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. What I try to do is I try to get my products in your car and in your hand. And like I said, if you guys can't afford that Fifth Amendment cop card, you know, I've sent out so many for free that it cost me like $5 shipping and handling. If you cover the shipping and handling on most of these cop cards, if you're broke ass, and I've been broke ass in my lifetime a few times. So if you cover the shipping and handling, I will, I'll send it to you anyway, but don't tell a bunch of people. I can't be sitting here all day, you know, filling out these things. So, but yeah, I just want to make sure. Just got your cop card in the mail. Yeah. I put a trifold in there for you, Mark. Yeah. I put, you know, like I said, you know, I did 1,000 orders or something like that last month. And so when you do 1,000 orders, some are going to get lost. And there's a couple people whose orders have gotten lost. I'm sorry. I'm still working on it for you though. I promise. I won't stop until you get your stuff. I give you my word. It's my business to get you your stuff. You know, Bruce, for example, you know, I wouldn't withhold from Bruce. Bruce ordered a hoodie from me. And ironically, my assistant, or no, I'm sorry. I don't want to pass blame on anybody, but what happened was Bruce entered the address for his house incorrectly. My assistant didn't look at the full address and say, that's not a full address, and just put the address for his hoodie and shipped it off. But the address was wrong. It wasn't a full, complete address, and it came back. Actually, you know what, Bruce? I don't even have it back yet. But Bruce contacted me after a week and was like, yo, where's the hoodie? And then I looked and Bruce and I saw that the wrong address was on there. And so we got it out to him right away. I shipped it out day before yesterday. So sometimes once in a while, some orders get lost. I talked to someone yesterday. They were ordered something that got lost and they were so upset. And I was like, don't be upset. Let's just go through the process and fix it so that you have the product in your car to save yourself. I don't care if I got to send it to you 5 times, but let's get the product in your car so that you have it to save yourself. Let's get the product in your car. Let's not spend time being frustrated about the U.S. Postal Service or shipping or, you know, this errors are going to happen. But we get through that and you get the cop card in your wallet. So, you know, you only pull out the cop card, the yellow and black cop card, when the cop is in front of you. If you order a trifold, I'll give you one of these for free. Last month, what I did, a lot of people, if they ordered the Fifth Amendment cop card, I gave them a trifold. If they ordered the trifold, I gave them a cop card. Because I want to make sure you guys get your stuff. I want to make sure everybody has stuff. What is going on? Prankshin82. Say your name correctly. Javro, what is going on? Oh, no problem, Bruce. I mean, Bruce has been with me since the beginning. And sometimes, like, so just so you know, that error was Bruce's, but I make errors all the time. I'm not perfect. So, and when you ship 1,000 things, you're going to miss a few things. It's going to happen. So doing the best that I can. I ship every day. How often do you send things out? And generally, how long does it take to receive the order other than an address mishap? So we had a shipping snafu where it dropped 100 orders in October, November. But as soon as you put your order in, I ship it today or tomorrow. It goes off now. That's why I bought everything in-house. I do all the shipping myself. I order all the materials myself. I source all the materials myself. I do everything myself because I just want to make sure that if it's going to fail, it'll be my failure. And since it's my products, my name, my face, I'm just going to do all the shipping myself. So if you didn't get it, sorry, I'll get it to you. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Yeah, all hoodies are shipped. All hoodies are shipped out. Robert, if you send me your zip code, I will look up your tracking number because there's a tracking number on all hoodies. On all hoodies. Yep. So hoodies shipped out like today's the 9th. So hoodies shipped out on the 4th. The 4th was the day that all the hoodies shipped out on. So it's going to take a week, 5-6 days, no matter who we are. No matter who we are. All y'all in F book. I don't know what that means. No, I mean, it just sucks. I wish I had more help. I wish I had more people, but at the same time, all I can do is make it up to you. If you don't get your trifold or your Fifth Amendment cop card in the mail, when I do get it to you, you'll have 2. That's all I can do. I can't do anything else. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, though, my business model is to get you your product. Even though we did have and this is a tiny problem now, and there's only a couple orders missing here and there, but those couple people who are missing their orders, they have a big voice and they're frustrated. They want their order. And I'm like, hey, I love you, man. I'll make it up to you. But oh, really, Doc? You shoot me an email then. What are you talking about? What's your order number, Doc? Doc K. Did you change your username? Did you used to be Jen? Because Jen used to have a picture of a blonde girl as her icon as well. Doc K, what's your order number? Let me look it up right now while we're live, because I got to get out of here in about 5 minutes. So Doc K, if you send me your order number right now, I'll look. And it could be your shipping address, by the way. Could be. Or it could be a myriad of things, but I'll look it up right away. I will look it up all the way. Oh, cop card right there. Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody has the cards. Just want to make sure everybody has the cards. I want to make sure everybody has a cop card in your wallet. You got to have the cop card in your wallet. You have to have it in your wallet. You only pull out the yellow and black card when the cops are in front of you. Okay. So Doc, do you got an order number? Doc said she didn't get her order yet. What's that order number? Let me just take a look at it. Let me just see. Order number 18613. Let me take a look at that just real fast while I got you on the line here. What did they say that order number was? It was order number 18613. Pretty sure that's what I said, right? Yep, that's what it is right there. Let me look it up. Give me 5 seconds here. Give me 5 seconds here. I hate it when it takes a second to open up your screens. It does. Oh, do you guys want to see this guy? I love this guy's channel. I watch his channel all the time. I watch his channel.
License and registration, please. I don't use license or registration when I travel. Why not? I'm a sovereign citizen. Oh, you're one of those people. The sovereign citizen movement is absurd. These are people that think they found some kind of loophole in the Constitution and the laws of the United States that simply allow them to sidestep government laws and regulations.
I like your channel, bro, but that's not true. What you just said is not true. So you're born into the social contract. The social contract is the rule of law. There it is. I'm just going to check that out in 1 second. So, but just because you don't want to be encompassed in the social contract, even though you're forced into it, you're born into the government you're born into, and every single country in the world, except for 2 countries, have a social contract, the rule of law. And so a sovereign citizen says, I live by my own sovereignty, rather than the government being the sovereign or we, the people, being the sovereign. A sovereign citizen says, I'm sovereign in and of myself. I'll take care of myself. I'll make the own rules for myself. I'll follow my own rules and regulations and policies and procedures. That's what a sovereign citizen says. Well, the social contract says that we, the people, are the sovereign, and we, the people, have created this group of laws, statutes, code, and ordinances that are upheld and protected by our government. That's what it's supposed to be. I can't believe how far away we are from that. But that's what the idea of a sovereign citizen is. The sovereignty right now in the United States of America is supposed to be held by we, the people. We, the people, are the sovereign or the power. Okay, so a sovereign citizen says, no, I'm the power of myself, and I'll make my own rules and regulations. We, the people, entrust a government, a Republican government of representatives, to then create a security force, police, to make sure that the laws that we've created to uphold everybody's civil liberties are then going to be ensured by the government that we put in place to uphold our civil liberties. I mean, as I say these things, this is I'm giving you the actual foundation of what our government is supposed to be based upon. Sovereignty, meaning the power. When you say someone's a sovereign citizen, they have power over themselves. In the United States, the sovereign is we, the people. And the we, the people sovereignty is upheld by the government. The government then institutes police to uphold individual civil liberties. That's the way it's supposed to go. Chevy, what is going on, Chevy? Haven't seen you. Good to see you, buddy. So he's kind of...
This idea seems ludicrous, but are they right? Have you and I been reading the Constitution wrong this whole time? I'm a fan of the Constitution and of limited government. I want the government out of my life too. So I dove deep into this topic to see if there's any truth to their ideas and if we can try to use them to have more freedom. The first example is a video from Facebook sent to me by a viewer, and we'll call this guy Brandon. Brandon is being pulled over by the police for not having registration displayed on his vehicle.
Hey, sir.
Yeah, how's it going?
Pulled you over for expired registration.
Yeah, I don't have registration.
From the video, we don't know exactly what Brandon's plates look like, but some liberty-minded individuals display some type of placard such as this on their vehicle. Brandon asserts to the officer that he doesn't need license or registration.
Yeah, I don't use registration or license when I travel.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I'm not a United States citizen.
So what are you?
I'm a state national.
Okay. So do you have a driver's license?
No, I use a passport when I travel.
Do you have a passport?
Yeah, I got a passport. Would you like to see it?
Please.
There you go.
This first part of the interchange isn't crazy. People come to the United States from other countries all the time. And depending upon the specific scenario and the state laws in question, they may not need a driver's license to drive their vehicle. In Virginia, for example, if Brandon has a passport from his home country along with a driver's license from his home country, and he's just temporarily visiting here for a short period of time, he's cool to drive. But then this happens.
Do you reside in California?
No.
Who's the vehicle registered to?
Well, I own the vehicle. I have my MCO right here. It's not registered to the state.
Do you plan on registering it?
No, I let the registration expire
I
because.
see that. So then should I tow your vehicle?
Well, no, I don't think that that's reasonable.
It's legal. For the vehicle code.
Yeah, but it's not lawful.
I'm
not operating in commerce. I'm not operating in commerce. You guys have the authority to regulate commerce, right?
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, what do you mean whatever? What do you mean
I
whatever?
don't understand all that stuff, so I see where this is going. So
Now it's clear what he's trying to do. He's a sovereign citizen, and that's exactly what the officer thinks is going on too. And that might not be good news for Brandon, because encounters like this can get combative. Before you abandon the video and think that I'm lumping all these people in with the wrong term and that Brandon's not really a sovereign citizen, I'm using this term loosely to talk about this group of people that try to look for loopholes to find liberty. I'm not...
Did you hear what he said? This group of people that try to find loopholes to look for liberty. It's pretty bad that we have to try to find loopholes to look for liberty.
About this group of people that try to look for loopholes to find liberty.
Did you hear what you said, lawyer? Man, I'm subscribed to this guy's channel. I don't know if I want to stay subscribed after that.
I'm not saying that everyone claims that title of sovereign citizen. We're trying to talk in general strokes here to look at some of these arguments to see if there's any merit to them. Earlier in 2023, Chase Allen is pulled over for displaying a sovereign citizen license plate. Chase handles the initial part of the stop almost exactly like Brandon by providing a passport to the officer.
What's this?
this is a passport.
But the encounter keeps escalating.
And we're going to have an issue where you're
Step out of the car right now.
Don't step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out. Out of the car.
Unfortunately for Chase, the officers shoot and kill him after it appears that he's trying to draw his sidearm from his holster. And this situation might be going through the officer's mind as he's talking with Brandon. So let's see what the officer...
I mean, that's an outright lie. I mean, I'm sorry, but he just lied. This guy here right
kill him after it appears that he's trying to draw his sidearm from his holster.
That's a lie. We broke down that video. Hey, lawyer guy, that's a lie. That's a lie. You're just glossing over headlines. You're just glossing over the narrative given, and you're not looking at the body cam, you jackboot thug pig sucker. You didn't look at the narrative. He never tried to pull the gun out of his side. He never drew on those cops. Never. The cops have been targeting his family for months. You just sat there and lied, Andrew. He never tried to pull the gun out of his side. You jackboot thug pig sucker. He never tried to pull the gun out of his side. Chase Allen never tried to pull a gun on the cops.
And this situation might be going through the officer's mind as he's talking with Brandon. So
So let's see this bullshit that he put on the screen here. I couldn't read it fast enough. As
exactly like Brandon by providing a passport to the officer.
What's this?
This is a passport.
But the encounter,
a passport identifies who you are to the pigs,
keeps escalating.
Yeah, the cops were escalating it. And listen to what Andrew, the lying lawyer, said. This guy right here, Andrew, you've lost yourself, bro. Andrew Flush lawyer, you've lost yourself, dude.
What's this?
This is a passport.
But the encounter keeps escalating.
No, the encounter didn't keep escalating. The cops kept escalating it, Andrew.
And we're going to have an issue where
Step out of the car.
Holster is obscured, undercoat on the right leg, phone is in his hand. So why does he want to have a shootout with 3 or 4 cops who have position over him? Why would you want to have a shootout with 3 or 4 cops when they all have guns and are surrounding your car? You wouldn't. And this guy puts in here, holster is obscured. No, he never wanted to have a shootout with the pigs.
Right now.
Don't step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out.
So that's why it's escalating. Phone changes hand, right hand near holster. Holster has flex movement. What a load of shit. He never tried to pull the gun out. If he tried to pull the gun out, the first cop that went in there would have been dead, who would have blown his head off.
Fortunately for Chase, the officers shoot and kill him after it appears that he's trying to draw his sidearm from his holster.
No, that's not what it appears like, Andrew. I've watched the video 100 times. That's not what it appears like.
And this situation might be going through the officer's mind as he's talking with Brandon. So let's see what the officer
So
does.
he's making up excuses saying that Chase Allen tried to pull a gun on him, so the cop could have that going through his mind. Go cop suck somewhere else, bro.
The vehicle code in California states that if you're going to drive a vehicle in California or own one,
This is an automobile, not a motor vehicle. By definition of the California vehicle code, I got it right here. I'm not operating in commerce, so there's no reason for you to regulate me.
okay. All right. Got it.
That's all.
No worries.
I'm actually pretty impressed with this officer because he's a lot calmer and more professional than I might have been in this situation.
What? You're impressed because you would have just flipped your shit on him because he doesn't agree with your verbiage?
No reason for you to regulate me.
Okay. All right. Got it.
That's all.
No worries.
I'm actually pretty impressed with this officer because he's a lot calmer and more professional than I might have been.
That's why I unsubscribe, bro. Right there, because of your bullshit.
And in this situation, I have no idea what California vehicle code Brandon is reading from, but I looked it up myself. A vehicle is a device by which any person or property may be propelled, moved, or drawn upon a highway, excepting a device moved exclusively by human power or used exclusively upon stationary rails or tracks.
So they wrote that, though. Who wrote that? The government did. And why did the government write that? To be able to control you.
And for motor vehicle, we have this definition. A motor vehicle is a vehicle that is self-propelled. Motor vehicle does not include a self-propelled wheelchair, motorized tricycle, or motorized quadricycle if operated by a person who, by reason of physical disability, is otherwise unable to move about as a pedestrian. Sadly for Brandon, he's just plain wrong about what the law says. But why does he believe he's right? I dug a little deeper, and I think Brandon is referring to the United States Code, which is federal law. The term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes on the highways in the transportation of passengers, passengers and property or cargo. But remember, this is federal law, and the Constitution gives to Congress the power to regulate interstate commerce. That's why the Federal Criminal Code definition of motor vehicle is only talking about vehicles used in commerce. So Brandon is happy federal passengers for commercial purposes.
It's amazing. A lot of people talk shit to me and say, you're not an attorney. You didn't go to law school. Let me help you. Let me help you fill in the blanks of this fucking moron, Andrew. Andrew, you're an attorney with a bar card. I'm an autodidactic constitutional law scholar, meaning I learned everything on my own. Let me fill in the blanks for this dunce cap lawyer, who obviously is just a YouTuber. So right here, he says, I dug a little deeper and here's what I found. So listen to his words and then I'll explain to you how it transferred to the states.
Believe he's right. I dug a little deeper and I think Brandon is referring to the United States Code, which is federal law. The term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes on the highways in the transportation of passengers and property or cargo.
Okay, so that's the federal vehicle. That's the federal code. So when did it change and how did it change? I was hoping Andrew said he dug a little deeper. Well, Andrew, I don't even have a book. The internet's not open in front of me. I'm not researching things. I could tell you how this happened off the top of my head.
But remember, this is federal law. And the
right.
Constitution gives to Congress the power to regulate interstate commerce.
Right. So what happened? How did it go from a federal definition of what a vehicle code is to where you can travel in America freely to where the states could then regulate your travel? That happened when the Supreme Court of the United States in 1915 in a case called Hendricks versus Maryland, then using the Interstate Commerce Clause, said that the states had a right to regulate the commerce, to regulate the driving in their state, using the Interstate Commerce Clause, that they would allow the states to create their own set of Department of Motorized Vehicles, where then they would create state statutes that would then redefine what a car is. But you didn't say that, Andrew. You didn't say any of that. Your explanation sucks, along with your perspective and your attitude toward people who want to be free in this country. It's an embarrassment. It truly is an embarrassment.
That's why the federal criminal code definition of motor vehicle is only talking about vehicles used in commerce.
No, right. No, the reason why the federal code is talking about vehicles only used in commerce is because no vehicles were then redefined by the states until 1915, Andrew. But I'm not a lawyer, you are. So you should know this, right? But obviously you didn't do your research, Andrew. You didn't do your research.
So Brandon is half right. If federal law is all that exists, he's actually correct. But what's great about how our federal republic works?
Oh, is it great? Is it great? Is that what it is? Is it great?
Is that the states retain all the power to regulate things that they don't explicitly give to the federal government to do.
No, they didn't, Andrew. Once again, you frickin' dumb lawyer. You dumb lawyer. No, what you're saying is wrong and it's not true. You're just saying shit because you think you know and you're a lawyer.
What's great about how our federal republic works is that the states retain all the power to regulate things that they don't explicitly give to the federal government to do.
No, that's wrong. Federal law supersedes state law. Now, the 9th and 10th Amendment, the big split between the 9th and the 10th Amendment, just so you know, the 9th Amendment is you have rights that you don't know about that you may need. For example, in the year 3000, the federal government say that you have to evacuate to Mars by the year 3002 because Earth is going to burn up. Now, you may not know that you need the right to tell the government that Earth is your home and that you have a right to die here, but that right may come up later. That's the 9th Amendment. The 10th Amendment says that all the laws that the federal government has are listed here. There's no more additional laws that can be created. How did they go around that? The Necessary and Proper Clause and the Interstate Commerce Clause. So that's how they went around creating more laws from the federal government, and that's what they've done. So the way this happened, Andrew, you dunce cap, is the case went to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court gave back the power to the states through Hendrick versus Maryland that gave them the right to create traffic laws, Department of Motorized Vehicle, and vehicle registration and stuff like that. That's how that happened, Andrew. Your explanation isn't even true. The things you're saying to people, Andrew, are not true. They're just not. I know this for a fact. You notice I'm not looking anything up. I know this off the top of my head. Dumb lawyer.
That's why laws in Virginia or in Texas can be very different from laws in California.
The reason why laws in Virginia and Texas can be very different from California is because the 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland has nothing to do about the Constitution. Has to do with the black robe tyrants took away the rights of us to be able to travel freely.
Frankly, those of us who don't live in California want it to stay that way. Okay.
What are you talking about? California has better laws than most other states.
Okay, so as far as vehicle registration goes, Brandon,
I wouldn't want to live in Mississippi or Louisiana or Ohio. I wouldn't want to live in Kentucky.
Hasn't convinced me or the officer that the sovereign citizen argument has any merit from a legal perspective. So here's what Brandon tries next.
I have a name decree, so I'm not even, you guys administer the estates of the dead, okay? That's why you have, that's you, the police, policy enforcers for the United States Corporation. That's why you guys are police and not sheriff. So you have codes, statutes, regulations, and that's what you enforce. But I'm not a person in commerce right now. And so that's all.
Brandon is off the reservation now. I'm sorry for those of you out there who might believe this stuff, but he is just spouting nonsense. He might as well be saying bing tittle tittle bong, because he is literally speaking gibberish to the officer at this point. Brandon goes on to explain more of his theory to the officer.
This is a decree from the judge, right? And I've changed my name from all caps, right? To a proper stylization, okay?
Okay.
And now this has to do with when you're born, they create a trust in your all caps name.
Right.
And then they basically trick everybody, or we all assume that as our identity. That's why government paper you ever had or any bills that come to your house are all in your all caps name. But that's not you. You're actually this name.
Right.
And the reason why you can't give me a ticket, except for something in my all caps name, is because at the highest levels, you guys are administering the estates and the trusts of everyone.
Check it out.
Wow. And when you change your name, I'm out of the system now.
I don't know what red pill Brandon thinks he took, but he wasted filing fees and his time by filing a nonsense legal petition at the courthouse that has zero legal effect. I dug a bit more into this as well, and he's not alone. Check out this Quora question. Does it matter if your name is printed in capital letters on your birth certificate? Cindy writes, yes, it does. The all caps name, according to Black's Law Dictionary, is only assigned to a dead man's estate or a corporation. When you register your baby's name at birth, it is not just recording a birth, as you were told, but rather probating it. They assign a file number and register your estate to issue bonds against it to be sold on the stock exchange. Let's stop right here. The government doesn't need to set up a trust for every baby that's born in order to issue bonds against the trust. The government can just issue bonds because they're the government. That's how governments borrow money. The Treasury Department does need people to shuffle paper, click buttons, and drink coffee, but they don't need a trust in your baby's name to issue a bond against. That's not how this works. Okay, so that's 2 strikes for Brandon, and here's his final bit of reasoning for the officer.
I mean, you took an oath when you become a police officer, right?
Like a
to defend the Constitution.
Right.
Right.
And I served 20 years in the Marine Corps.
All right, so you should know that part of the Declaration of Independence, which is what the Constitution is constituting, right? We're moving forward. It talks about liberty, right?
Yep.
And so you're taking an oath to defend the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. Liberty means the right of locomotion. Okay?
Right.
That's right out of Black's 4th dictionary.
Okay.
So I have the right to move about, and it also is my free speech. How can I go and have free speech and assemble and have my constitutional right if I have to have a license to move around? That right there is against my rights.
And here's where—
So before the lawyer says something stupid that's not true, let me explain it to you more succinctly so that you understand the reason why the cop has jurisdiction over Brandon. The 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland then granted the states the right to create their own Department of Motorized Vehicles, their own ordinances, statutes, and codes for traffic. That's what the case did. It gave the states the power. Usurped, I think, is the proper word. Brandon right now is explaining to a state police officer that he has federal rights. The state created its own set of codes, ordinances, and statutes that will be in place first before your federal rights. Your federal rights weren't even attached. A lot of federal rights still are not even attached if you really want to get into the nitty gritty. So if we go back, go all the way back to 1876. I think 1876 is going to be Cruikshank versus the United States. So if go back to 1860, okay. So let me truly try to explain this for you so that you can understand it from a constitutional perspective. So in 1865, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. This is all going to come for a circle. Just bear with me for a second. How come the cop can issue statutes, ordinances, and codes against Brandon from a state position, and the federal right to locomotion won't supersede the state's rights? Won't go over, you have federal rights first, right? So the 13th Amendment abolished slavery federally. Then the 14th Amendment in 1868 created the equal protection under the law, and that whether you were previously a slave or not, you still got equal protection under the law. The 15th Amendment in 1870 allowed black men over the age of 21 the right to vote. So you had these 1 through 15 amendments, your first set of 10 amendments, and then your next 5 amendments that came after the first 10, the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. So in an 1876 case called Cruikshank versus the United States, and this is based on a massacre where a racist massacre where they killed a bunch of blacks when both sides of the government in Louisiana, both the Democrats and the Republicans, thought that they had won the state house. So they have a gigantic battle, and then a guy named Bill Cruikshank executes a few dozen black people, just marches them out and executes them. Well, that had gone against the 1866 Civil Rights Act. I hope you can keep up with this. This is a lot of information. So 1876, Cruikshank is tried, and he goes all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, the murders happened in 1873. They don't get to the Supreme Court till 1876. In Cruikshank versus the United States in 1876, the Supreme Court said that these 15 amendments, 1 through 15, these are federal rights, not state rights. So those blacks who were executed by Bill Cruikshank, where they marched them out and just executed a bunch of black people, literally, it's pretty disgusting. Look up Bill Cruikshank's story. So the Supreme Court in the year 1876 said, your rights are not attached. The federal amendments, the 1 through 15 amendments, those are federal rights. Those aren't state rights. What Cruikshank does is then knocks off the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment through a bunch of other state Supreme Court cases. Now, your federal rights, your First Amendment to speech, press, assembly, petition, your Second Amendment right to guns, your Third Amendment not to quarter troops, your Fourth Amendment to be free of illegal searches and seizures, those don't become incorporated and attached to you until the 1964 Civil Rights Act. That's how long it takes. And then they say, no, your rights have to be attached. They have to be attached, even through the states. So now what this moron lawyer is saying is that he doesn't have these rights because of why? Because of state law. The state law created in 1915 through Hendricks made it so that those state laws, that trooper, he takes an oath to uphold the state constitution and the statutes, ordinances, codes in it. So you first have to get through state court before you're going to be able to get to federal court. I mean, there's just so much information there of stuff that I know. I hope that you'll be able to follow any of that. But your rights were not applicable until the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Your amended rights.
Where Brandon gets it half right again. The Declaration of Independence is simply the document that broke us away from Great Britain. It's where we said we are independent. However, the Constitution does not actually incorporate the Declaration of Independence. It's a separate document. Keep in mind that between the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution as we know it, there was a previous document known as the Articles of Confederation. That was the first attempt at our founders establishing a federal government. Yes, law enforcement officers do generally take some type of oath to uphold the Constitution. However, the actual explicit words of the Declaration of Independence aren't incorporated into the Constitution. It's two separate documents. But putting that aside, I actually agree with Brandon that our founders would be horrified at our concept of driver licenses. For one, the law holds that it is a privilege and not a right to be able to drive down the road, which means that it's much easier for the government to take back that privilege, that you're not entitled to due process.
Well, the Supreme Court in the year 2013 said that you have to invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. They didn't call it a right. The black robe tyrants believe that our amended rights that we all have are privileges and not rights. So what this lawyer said, again, is a little funky.
It's much easier for the government to take back that privilege, that you're not entitled to due process safeguards when they decide it's time to suspend your license. Instead of actually requiring that you get notice and bring you in for a hearing, they can just suspend it in the computer and mail you a letter. And then you can get arrested because you never even knew that your license was suspended to begin with. I think our founders would be shocked, horrified, and rolling in their graves if they knew how we handled the freedom to move down the highway. And this,
but yet you go against anybody standing up for the freedom to travel. The first 10 minutes of your video was you bashing people and making fun of them for the right to travel.
Officer is actually being pretty chill about all this.
So I normally issue fix-it tickets for this. How does this work with you?
Fix-it tickets?
Yeah, for registration, so fix-it ticket.
Well, I mean, I'm not obligated to have registration if I'm not operating in commerce.
Right, but
So-
I'm obligated to write a fix-it ticket for your vehicle.
I mean, if
Through his state ordinances, through his state statutes and state codes, not federal.
if you want to write me or hand me a ticket, I mean, I'll rescind it. I'll rescission it.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
mean, I don't think it's worth your time.
Probably not, but I gotta do something.
Brandon is right about this too. Politely arguing gibberish with an officer on the side of the road could make it realize that you're not worth his time to issue a fix-it ticket where he has to come to court and further argue with you and the judge. So what's the verdict? Well, I sympathize with Brandon's position and his desire to
Doesn't sound like you do, bro. Sounds like you're a bootlicker to me.
be more free. He's going about it the wrong way. And this is where he completely
He's going about it the wrong way, huh?
loses me.
Right?
Just drive safe. I'm impressed you have
Travel safe. Driving is the commercial term. See, this is how they get us with diction, right? If you say driving, then suddenly you're in a motor vehicle, right? And that's a commercial term.
Again, with this commercial vehicle nonsense.
What are you talking about nonsense? In Terry versus Ohio, during the oral arguments, they said little arrested or big arrested, trying to create ways for the new detainment. They said, well, so if you grab him, then you seize him. And the lawyer for the government goes, no, I wouldn't say he's been seized. And then you say, why wouldn't you say he's been seized? He says, because seize is in the Fourth Amendment. We can't use that word. And they said, well, then what word would you use? And he says, detained. Now, what do we have today in Terry versus Ohio is detained. He's talking gibberish and mishmatching words. That's exactly what the Supreme Court has done. That's what they've done. And you're not arrested unless, of course, you're drugged down and charged. And it's not cruel and unusual punishment under the Eighth Amendment unless it's legislated and then a judge sentences you to cruel and unusual punishment. It's not that the prison guards or that the cops treat you cruel and unusual under the Constitution, under the color of law. It's that the judge has to sentence you to cruel and unusual punishment. Well, who decided that? The black robe tyrants. Do you think that's right? Don't you think it's cruel and unusual punishment by the pigs on the streets, the things they do? But the Supreme Court minces words all the time. Don't you remember Clinton's deposition when he got caught, Monica Lewinsky blowing him? He said, depends on what the definition of is. And this lawyer here, who's been taught legalese, is going to sit here and say that you're mincing words. Legalese is all about the mincing of words.
Motor vehicle, right? And that's a commercial term.
Again, with this commercial vehicle nonsense.
No. Commercial vehicle is a term, Andrew, you dunce cap. Words matter in law. If I call you damn fascist, those are fighting words, and I can be charged with fighting, with trying to cause a fight with you. for calling you a damn fascist. And that's versus 1943. That there are specific and direct fighting words that you cannot use, 1942, that say right there, the exact fighting words in Chaplinsky versus New Hampshire state that if you call someone a damned fascist, you are invoking fighting words. So this lawyer is saying that commercial vehicle and these words don't matter, but they actually do, Andrew, and you should know better. You went to actual law school.
Yes, words do matter, but we as individuals don't just get to change definitions of words.
But the Supreme Court does all the time. It's regular. It's normal.
Especially words that are actually given specific legal meanings in the criminal law. You can't take an activity like driving a car, decide to call it something else, traveling, and all of a sudden exempt yourself from the criminal law that refers to driving a car.
But he wasn't doing a criminal act. He was simply traveling. That's not a criminal act. He shouldn't be susceptible to the criminal code unless he creates a criminal act.
If, on the other hand, Brandon was simply just traveling down the road on foot, he'd be right. He wouldn't need a registration or a driver's license. So how does this officer finally end the encounter?
Just so I'm within the policy, it's a verbal warning, but you're not detained, but just verbal warning.
Thank you. So what was your name? After all that, it actually works. Brandon drives away without receiving a ticket. He travels away. And if you want to learn how to defend yourself when being pulled over by the police without this absurd sovereign citizen nonsense, check out.
What are you talking about?
This next video. I'll see you over there.
Yeah, I'm not going to check it out. I'm not going to check it out with this crowd here anyway. We may look at it later, but just an absolute crap, just a crappy presentation, just crap. I mean, he sits there and lies and minces words, and it was just dog shit. The whole thing was dog shit. Every bit of that was dog shit. It was hard to listen to it. I think someone sent me an order number and they said the order number was 8618. You ordered 25 minutes ago. So you got to give me a second to get that in the mail to you. Okay. Throw what bum out? Chille, throw this bum out. I don't know what bum you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking. I haven't looked at the comments at all. How do we travel in the 21st century, if not car, then with horse, I guess? I mean, you see the pigs, they just continually travel on horses. They think that them being on horses. Oh, is it the day after your birthday, unisex? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? It's the day after unisex's birthday. Happy belated birthday. Everybody say happy belated birthday to unisex. Listen, I'm going to do it the rest of the day today. If you order a trifold, I'm going to give you a Fifth Amendment cop card for free. If you order a trifold, I'm going to give you a Fifth Amendment cop card for free. And these are like a credit card. Yours should be out then, bro. So just so you guys know, the mail right now is taking 10 to 14 days. And it's all over the country, not just the people in this room. It's taken at least 7 to 14 days for mail to go through right now. That's what's happening. So yeah, you should have yours right away. We mailed out on the 4th through the weekend. So yeah, you should have yours pretty quick here. Everybody in the chat, do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat if you have your trifold or your Fifth Amendment cop card. Put a 1 in the chat if you have your trifold or your Fifth Amendment cop card. If you would, pretty please, with cherries and sugar on top. Oh yeah, it's Dan, it's all over the country. So you guys know I have an editor. So I don't edit my videos. I have an editor who edits my videos. I had a previous editor. I have a new editor now. And the editor, I sent a hoodie for Christmas and said, "Hey, we don't stop. Here's a hoodie for Christmas." I sent that hoodie on December 21st, December 22nd. He got the hoodie January 8th. Yesterday, 2 days ago, January 7th. So I sent it on the 21st or 22nd and he got it on the 7th. That's how long it took my editor to get the hoodie that I sent to him. From December 21st or 22nd, I can't remember which day I sent it to him, but he didn't get it till the 7th. So that's how long it took to get through. That's how long things are taking. It just is what it is. It's just going to take time. But I won't miss you. I will not miss anybody's order. It wouldn't be a very good business model to have people order things and then not give them to them. Oh, you ordered on January 2nd? So you should have yours, Mad Hatter. It'll take a week. Depends. If you're on the East Coast, at least a week. It'll take a while. It sucks, man. It's not what I want. Oh, I hope so, Thomas. I hope you're going to court on February 27th and it'll be dismissed. Yeah, I really, really hope that it gets dismissed. I really do. You know, I really hope it does. I really hope it does. All right, listen, I got to get the flock out of here. I would stay here all day. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about your eBay package? It was comical. I watched the package get redirected back and forth between postal carriers. Yeah, I mean, I sent my package off. It took 2 solid weeks to get a hoodie over to somebody. It took 2 weeks. Those are just real numbers. Those are the numbers that it took. It took 16 days for my editor to get the hoodie that I sent him. It took 16 days. That's how long it took. And it's not my fault. There's nothing I can do about it. I wish I could do more, but I can't. Oh, you got yours in about a week? So he got his trifold in about a week. So yeah. I mean, I have so many, you have no idea. I'm just learning how to do all this shipping stuff. So I have so many pictures of so many envelopes I've shipped. I just can't even get through all of them. Anyway, listen, I better get the flock out of here. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys get a trifold today, because if you do, I'm going to put the Fifth Amendment cop cards right in your envelope. You don't have to ask. You can put it in the notes if you want. Hey, Chille, I'm ordering the trifold. You said you'd give me a cop card with it. Just put it in the notes if you want to, but I'm going to include it anyway. The Fifth Amendment cop card has got to get into circulation. We need thousands of these in circulation. So that's why I'm giving so many away. I considered the investment in the cards like a promotion, like a promotional way to advertise my brand. I mean, originally I thought I would be able to make some cash with it too, but at the same time, these have got to get into circulation. So if you order a trifold, I'm going to give you a Fifth Amendment cop card 100% for free. 100% for free in your envelope. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming, Shubby. Good to see you. Steven, what is going on? Good to see you, Chris. Thanks for coming, brother. Chevy! I ordered mine 45 minutes ago and still haven't gotten it. Grr, I'll kill you. I will kill you. I'll kill your family, your dog. I'll kill your cat. Where's my trifold? Derek, the website is deletelaws.com. Delete laws with a Z. It looks just like that. That's the way you spell it. Deletelaws.com with a Z. If you get a trifold, Derek, I'm going to give you Fifth Amendment cop cards with it for free. Get the trifold that I mail to you in the mail. It costs $20. And then I'll give you the Fifth Amendment cop cards in the mail for free. You are welcome. I love Yahweh. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you. Stomper, good to see you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys so much. Chris, good to see you. I better get the flock out of here. Milton, good to see you. April, my friend, good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. All right, I'll get the flock out of here. I'm just rambling. I got to go pick up my laundry. Brick, it's good to see you, my friend. All right, I got to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, Gators. Oh, later, Gators. Let me do that again. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.